What?
I was over here on Tony Spell's Twitter,
Yeah.
and he said here on the 26th, reminder, church will be held underground today in the basement of my house. Bring your food stamps.
Oh, I believe it. You know what? I saw just about a day ago, he was saying he didn't care nothing about those arrests that he had experienced. He was still going to have church. And I said, at this point, it's Louisiana's fault for not coming down hard on him.
No, and you know what they weak ass police been doing when he held church. One time he held church, they just sat in the back of the church in their squad cars and sat there, and they didn't know what to do. But boy, when it's us, they know what to do, and they overdo it. They overdo it.
Tell me about it.
But he telling these folks, check this out. Oh, here it is. I'm gonna screenshot this and send it to you too. He said, bring your food stamps, Pastor Spell food stamps challenge.
He's just trying to take everything away from that congregation.
This sucker, like I said, this sucker, I'm gonna wear his ass out.
Good. I'll help you wear him out too.
I'm screenshotting this for you. This sucker is asking for food stamps. You know,
last week he was asking for their stimulus check.
And you know that he supports ADOS.
Yeah, well, I don't care about that. Thank you, Black Rage 843 for the super sticker.
Just for your records. I'm sending this to you right now. I don't know what you're gonna do with it, but I'll just put what should I put? I'm gonna put food stamps. This sucker, he prey on black folks.
Yes, he does. That's what most of his congregation is.
But see, if he was smart, if I was gonna do some stuff like that, my congregation would be white, because then I would get more.
Oh no. He's one of them people that don't want to screw his own people, but he don't mind screwing us. There's many out there like that.
But you'll get more food stamps, Lisa.
But he doesn't care. You know why he's doing it? Because that black crowd is more gullible.
Yes, yeah. And you know what they like? You know what they like that he do? Because I've been keeping up with him. He cuss a lot. And and he do so-called things that he think black people do. So
right. He's exploiting them. Yeah.
So he real flip it and stuff. Look at that. Some and people send all kind of memes to him full of devilment, and he like all of that. And he the devil him damn self.
Well, I don't do a meme of him as the devil. I put that together.
This sucker got a picture up of a devil at a club dancing.
Wow.
It's a white man with horns out of his head and everything and stuff. These people literally in the devil's den.
I know. They always have been. Hey, Demetrius, thank you so much for the super chat. This is how Jim Jones received power. Yeah, through black congregation. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, and some of the things that Jim Jones would so-called do.
Congregation, you're absolutely right.
And some of the things that Jim Jones would so-called do. Oops, I did that wrong. Excuse me. I didn't put that on mute. It appealed to unquote black folks.
Yeah.
While you getting set up, I'll just tell folks this. You know, I've said this more than once. My son-in-law family lost 27 family members in one day. And when you're around his family, you can feel an energy of sadness. It's so sad. It is so sad, Lisa. And most of them that they lost were children.
Yeah. Don't drink the Kool-Aid, right?
Don't drink the Kool. And then one of his aunts, she's a psychologist. She got away. Some family member, let you know how many their family members was over there. They ran through the jungles, and then they was chasing some of them and shooting them in the jungle.
Yeah. We gonna get to it, y'all, because you know, brought you for Diamond and Silk. We gonna get to it.
Oh yes, you gave me time to go do my research real quick.
Some screenshots I'm going to show y'all.
Woo!
You know that this is definitely real. Yeah, we get into it.
Juicy, Lord.
This is the way to end your day, y'all. It's a way to end it.
But you know, they had fired that white girl, right? And you know what? I think they had all along planned to fire them, but see if they do the white girl first, then it was easier to get Diamond and Silks to slide right up.
Yeah, but they were stupid. And it was the one that never talks that much. She's the one that fucked the whole thing up for their employment at Fox News, because she was the one that came with the conspiracy theory that they were using COVID-19 just to make Trump look bad. And it really wasn't that many cases in the country. She was the one that did that. You know, so finally, when she finally
opened her mouth,
talk, she gets them fired.
Did they get her in a room by herself? Because I picked up on when Trump was running for president that if you separate the two, the one that don't do all that talking, she don't know what to say.
Right.
She's really afraid to be alone.
Thank you. Backup trick 44 for the hey, you know, and also shalom to everybody in the chat. You know, I always say that to y'all.
Yeah.
Shalom to everybody and everybody.
You know, oh, Lisa, last night I was watching this commercial and I screamed. I couldn't even call you fast enough. They said, Anthony. It was some little hillbilly commercial. I screamed. I said, they stole that from Lisa. They stole that from Lisa. Because, you know, they've been making these commercials overnight, literally. And I said, there ain't no damn way. They ain't been saying no Anthony.
You know, when I was growing up in the hood, anybody that had the name Anthony, that's what we called him.
Anthony. That's right.
If you were an Anthony or a Tony, you were called Anthony.
Yep. Well, they saying Anthony on this commercial, and when I gotta catch it because I don't even know what they were selling. I just heard them say Anthony, and I said they stole that from Lisa. People, I'm telling you, my husband came downstairs and told me more than once, baby. I think they done stole some of these videos from y'all. I said we been knew that. Shoot, Roland Martin's ass over there with his fat ass. That dude, you know what? It don't matter. You know what? Now, Roland Martin, if he put on a suit, he can hide that messed up shape. He's shaped like a barrel, but he claimed he lost all this weight. I can't see it. It's all the weight.
It must be in a part of the body that is not visible because he looks as big as ever.
He likes to wear those. Sometimes he likes to wear jerseys, and around his shoulders is round. And I said, "Oh my goodness, this dude
round shoulders and no neck. That's
no sex appeal. I like a man to wear a nice jersey like that, and then you just see all the definitions in his arms and chest. No, Roland, you can't do it."
Do you remember when I told you I had a crush on this guy when I was a teenager and I liked him until he spoke to me? Let me tell you something. Back then, because he had a nice body. I mean, you could tell he worked out. He had an awesome body. You could see his muscles even when he had long sleeves on. He used to wear turtlenecks. I have never seen nobody look so damn good in a turtleneck.
That's hard to pull off.
This man looked off the charts in a turtleneck. Man, I would have still been in love with him if he didn't just open his damn mouth. He should have just kept quiet.
Lord. Did he talk that? Did he stutter, Lisa?
No, he just sounded too girly. I mean, it was like 2 years I was just checking him out. But when he opened his mouth to speak to me,
it killed the vibe. It killed the vibe.
He sound more like a woman than I do.
Lord have mercy. You know what I was thinking about, Lisa? Remember that picture you sent me of Roland Martin? It was a close-up shot. Looked like he had just got up that morning.
Yeah.
Man, some folks get up in the morning. They need to get up before they mate and just You know,
he got a lot of moles on him too.
Yeah, all over him. He looked crusty. He looked crusty. He ain't the bit. I mean, you know, wow. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. He don't look right. Oh my goodness, who is that? Sky Daddy Revenge? Is that LVZ?
LVZ.
Boy. LVZ, that last hangout I did with LVZ, and he was that that video that you gave me, Lisa, where the Africans was getting chastised. I mean, the Chinese was getting chastised. LVZ did he interpret that stuff for us. That shit was so funny. Oh, people still cracking up behind the scenes on that one. LVZ saved the day because we didn't know what they were saying. We didn't know what they were saying. That shit was hilarious. But he got the Sky Daddy Revenge channel.
Yeah, he needs that specialized in translation. That's what we.
Yeah, well, LVZ had it down to a science. And then the part that was funny was they're gonna say that LVZ, they want to take his channel down. They want to say that they say you're not using original content. That's all he do is use his own content. What the hell are they talking about?
He does. He don't read. And when he does, he speaks his own commentary. So it's always original. So I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah. They on that BS.
Yeah, well, they did Nicole's View like that too. And I was like, Nicole always does her own commentary. What the hell are they talking about? Yeah. All right, so I'm going to share my screen because I want y'all to see this. I got 2 shots I want y'all to look at, and then we're going to get into what happened to these 2 mammies.
Did them mammies, did they have anything to say?
I haven't heard no response from their but in the coming days, they may have a lot to say.
Well, you know what? I guarantee you this, they're going to start hollering racism, even though they say it ain't no racism.
Well, wait a minute. No, if it's not racism for everybody else, it couldn't possibly be that for them.
Mm-hmm. They real quick to holler that shit.
Give me a 1 if y'all see my screen. Give me a 1 and then we'll get started. Give me a 1. Family.
James Smith, they actually do have a show. Diamond and Silk did have a show. They was on the road because they wasn't gonna make no money from Trump.
No, and he still used their asses as freebies. Okay, y'all ready? All right, ta-da! Ooh, shit! Oh shit!
Ooh, juicy.
Fox
juicy.
Cut ties with Diamond and Silk, unofficial Trump advisors who spread bonkers coronavirus claims. So they made false claims about coronavirus conspiracy theories. And because of that, they got the boot. I guess Fox News today reminded them they are niggas too.
They got, you know what? They got their ass on their shoulders. And I found a article in, they call it healreport.com. And one night they was doing a live stream in March, and they was saying, what I need to know is how many people have passed in New York. What I need to know is who has the bodies. Now, this was Diamond. Diamond asked this. I need for somebody that do investigations to work to call the morgues, call the funeral homes. We need to know because I don't trust anything else that comes out of the mouth. You got the nerve out of the mouth. Something's not right here. Something is off.
Didn't these 2 lie to Congress?
Yeah, something is not right here. Something is not right here, and something is off. You the one that's off.
Right. These 2 sat and lied to Congress, y'all.
And they had to remind them that you speaking before Congress. And then on top of that, what got me is they never shut that shit off.
No. All right, here's another one, y'all. Here we go. Fox News dumps
Oh, juicy.
Diamond and Silk for promoting coronavirus conspiracy theories.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. And see, this one who don't talk much, she was the one that did all the talking about the coronavirus.
She done fucked up their gravy train. She done fucked up their
No,
gravy.
fucked up the gig. She
Yep.
fucked it up.
They're gonna need some donations of green Kool-Aid.
Mhm.
You know, she
Woo,
thinks
y'all gonna need some unemployment now. You done.
they gonna be wanting them. You better pass them over to Pastor Anthony.
Uh-huh. Probably know who he is.
Mm-hmm.
But y'all see that? They were on Fox News talking conspiracy theories about coronavirus. Now, I did do a video on it, and you heard, I guess that's Silk. She was running her mouth talking about they were only talking about the coronavirus to make Trump look bad, make our president look bad. And I was like, ain't nobody got to make Trump look bad. Trump does a good job of that all by himself.
You know what Trump is, you know, he check it out, Lisa. Check out the game. Okay, so we leave Friday with Trump talking about, you know, have cocktails of bleach, shoot up bleach, however you just get the bleach in you. And then Monday, it just made it easy. It just made it easy because I was wondering what they had to say about bleach. Is they gonna say that was a conspiracy too? That they put the words in Trump's mouth? I mean, these women, they are. This is what I've been saying on a serious note about these coons. There is a space and time where white folks want coons to shut the fuck up. And the super coons like Candace Owens, and now who tried to start it off was ex-Sheriff Coon Clark, and he was trying to kick up some rhetoric, and it didn't jive the way that he wanted to because people
nobody want to hear all this political shit. And there's a highly contagious virus and people are dying, all that politicking stuff. Nobody gives a shit about that. Nobody cared about what David Clark was talking.
Yeah, and so he just thought, he thinking like Candace, because these the type you don't have to tell the coon. They thinking, oh, I'm doing something for Massa, and Massa squinting the eyes at him real hard, like you need to shut up. They don't recognize that these are the type of coons that coon when nobody is looking.
Right, but see, coons need to know they're expendable. Demetrius, thank you for the super chat. Even though it's good, Diamond and Silk were fired. I am a bit upset that white reporters that say racist slurs are able to apologize and keep it moving. However, black people are fired. Yeah, well, you know, hey, this is their world. We're still in it. I don't feel
nothing for them.
Yeah, their world is going away, but they still have control in the media, and that's going to wean away soon in time. We all just got to sit back and grab the popcorn. That's going away soon too.
See what you're asking. You got to think about what you're saying. What you're asking is for the enemy to be even fair when they do shit like that and stuff, and they only being true to their nature. That's what they supposed to do. Everything that's happening right now, this is an example. They're super coons.
Yes,
think about what I'm saying.
Yes,
they're super coons. They getting rid of them. They trying to show other coons what they will do to you because these white folks is scared.
Hey,
don't have time for that.
One thing, True Royal, while it's on my mind, you hear that? That's my grape juice.
Lisa,
I had to grab my grape juice for this occasion.
Let me go get mine. I'll be back.
So, ladies and gentlemen, no. See, this is a reminder. We have seen other coons get the boot, right? We saw Paris Denard go down. And see, now we got Diamond and Silk. These folks are expendable. They never keep them long term. I have never seen one around long term. They got rid of David Clark, and they usually will get rid of them one by one, right? One by one. And this is no exception. Maybe this will be a hard lesson for them to know that you can't even say what you want, even when you are in company with other Republicans. And you think that's right, Stacey Dash. And maybe this is a hard lesson for them to see. These folks are never on your side. They are never on your side. And you are expendable at any moment. And if you notice, when they give the Coons the boot, they never get any long notice. They get fired instantly. Okay. It was like, here today, gone tomorrow. That is the career of a Coon. That is their career. As fast as they prop you up, they will take you down. So again, that means, is it really worth it, cooning? Hell no. Hell no. This is just further proof right here. Mark Lamont Hill, you damn right. Y'all know all of them. Yep. You know all of them. It's not worth it. Shoot, they can't stand me. They can't stand my ass. But one thing I'm not, I won't defect to the other side. Shoot, I'd rather be hated and be down for my people than coon and end up getting a boot in the long run. It happens every single time. Every single time. Oh yeah, they don't care. You know, what do they say? It does not have a retirement plan. Coonan don't have a retirement plan. It sure didn't for Diamond and Silk. And look, I think they got their gig on Fox News maybe about a year ago, maybe a little longer, but I know it has not been that long. Oh, Candace, yeah, they'll get sick of her because she's another one walking around here talking shit about coronavirus. Thank you, Larry Kane, for the super sticker. And see, the thing is, they're getting rid of a lot of people that are talking conspiracy theory about coronavirus. And you know why? Because although they're trying to point to us and say that Black folks get the virus more than anyone else, a lot of these white folks done lost people in their family. They don't want to come out and tell you that, but it's the truth. And they're not going to tolerate, especially someone Black, sitting somewhere talking about conspiracy theory. They're not going to tolerate that.
Okay, listen. Ow. I got my lemon in it. I had to, hook it up real good.
Okay.
I got a link I'm gonna send the family of the official list, and they change it daily. When you start peeling back these different countries, these little different towns, and when you start going to Africa and going to those different regions in Africa, do you know there are some people who have not gotten it, no deaths, no nothing.
And that continent is hot, y'all. Now, I think they are looking at it wrong. See, they're looking at climate and saying it's going to fizzle out in the hot weather. I think in the case of Africa, it's all about genetics, not climate. And that's the reason why they're not getting a lot of it. I don't believe it has anything to do with climate. It has everything to do with the strong genetics of people there.
But like over in Kenya, the guy that they've been over there criticizing about the Hennessy and all that kind of stuff like that, they've been around the clock fumigating even the slums. They done hired a lot of people to just clean up stuff around there.
You remember when China tried to disinfect the place and they killed the wildlife?
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I did a video on it. China called themselves disinfecting the place when Wuhan had it and it was going strong there, which I think it still is. They're lying. And
they
started disinfecting the place all around there, and they killed the damn wildlife.
Lord. Lisa, one of the things that people can use to kill all stuff is that stuff that you introduced to us. I can't pronounce the name. I just call it earth.
Diatomaceous earth.
Yeah. Very good thing to kill off stuff around your garden, all kind of.
And y'all, if you're going to drink tea, keep sticking with the immune building tea. Now, I drink a lot of ginger tea because it helps a lot with my allergies. And ginger tea is antibacterial and antiviral. So you definitely want to add that to your list of teas.
Well, I'm going to do, when I do my first live stream on my Anchor, I'm going to do the one that we were talking about yesterday, because I ain't giving up the name, about is one more extra thing that it kills viruses. And the thing that's crazy is it's an article that Lisa, she found it before I did. They did it back in 2015. They're talking about coronavirus and SARS and MARS and what kills it. And what kills it. And Lisa, I don't know if I sent it to you. I found a YouTube channel where they are even going this far. They're putting around the hospital beds that particular material, and they're having less infections and disease. They putting it around the hospital beds.
Oh my goodness, the Vanguard, how you doing? I ain't seen you in ages. Man, you better get back on here and start doing videos again.
Oh, yes.
It's good to see you.
So I'm sending y'all, okay, I got to send it over there on Lisa's main channel. That link that I'm sending you, you can look at that on a day-to-day basis, and it'll let you know the actual numbers. And when you start peeling back the true picture, okay, what was that? It's been a month ago. I watched a video over on Democracy Now! And some infectious disease doctor, she was all hot and heavy to get to Africa. Okay, Lisa told me about 2 weeks ago that they were talking about what's going to be bodies just all over Africa.
And it's not happening, and it's tearing their asses up. They want to see that so badly.
Yeah, it sure is. And then and on Vox, I have an article that I pinned on Vox, and I read the majority of that article. And the way that article went, they were very snippet about what they said, and they was basically saying that, right now, yeah, everything going good, but under 6 months, there's going to be millions of Africans dead. The best thing that Africa could do is close their country down. Don't let them people over there.
Yeah, don't bring it in.
They'll bring it and spread it.
Yeah, if they feel that it ain't spreading enough, they'll come there and spread it deliberately. They sure will. And it's not the first time disease was brought into Africa to undermine them people over there.
And then another thing that I put together when I was reading that article, Lisa, these European countries are upset because Africa has not asked for anything. They ain't asked for no or nothing.
They are prepared because they've had so many epidemics in Africa. They don't. They know what they need. Them people are crazy. They got everything they need. Oh, not bad for a shithole country, right?
Yeah, not bad at all. In fact, South Africa been making masks for this country. I read that when everything first popped off, they got shitloads of factories that make masks, and their masks are some of the best in the world, way better than the ones.
They know what to do. Some people, they got more experience in handling large epidemics than any other place on this planet. They are beyond prepared.
So when I repeatedly say that the enemy fatten themselves up for the kill, See what they like to do. They like to put shit on paper, have big seminars about, which they did, and I showed that they had a big seminar last year in October about coronavirus, and the shit looked real good on paper. But then when it actually go down, you see that they draws was around their ankle. They wasn't prepared at all.
Have done so bad in this country. I mean, the whole world is saying they are now taking a second look at U.S. leadership. They know that this place can't lead nobody after doing this poorly.
And then try to.
You can't be in the driver's seat no more. Okay, people are going to run you out.
And then trying to use that bullshit with Trump. I mean, Obama. That ain't working. That ain't working at all. They when all else failed, Obama.
But see, that's equivalent to them pointing to us and trying to blame us for coronavirus, making us the face of it. It ain't working, y'all. It ain't working like they thought. Just like it's not working for China trying to stick that shit on Africans. It is not working the way they thought.
Lisa, let me show you how desperate they got down. So 2 weeks ago, when they had the weekend, they had did a whole thing all that weekend on CNN about Black people getting coronavirus more than anyone. Do you know they put up the same footage last weekend? I said, y'all fucking desperate. You know, we're gonna try to take a peg and put it in a square, and we just it's not
working.
It's to the point.
Y'all, pull up the obituary. I've been avidly looking at the obituary, even in my area. Now, where I am, it's well over 60% Black. When you pull open the obituaries, y'all, I kid you not, it is predominantly white. You can count the Black people in the obituaries on one hand. It could be 20 people, and you may see 2 or 3 Black people sprinkled in there out of 20 people. It's not us dying like that.
Well, I did what you said, Lisa. I went and looked on the obituary in Oakland, California. And I seen a handful of Black people. It was saturated with white folks.
Thank you.
So, so while these people are trying to force this narrative, go to those white people, put all those white people in a room who have lost family members and say, oh, I just want to let y'all know Black people are getting it more than anyone. What that gonna do for them?
Nothing. But y'all remember, we have been the face of many things. When I was growing up, they tried to say heroin. I remember this even back in the 70s. They tried to say heroin was a Black man thing. They put the face of the Black man on heroin. But you see, it's not the Black man doing all the heroin today. And then, of course, we know AIDS started out as a gay white male disease. And now that became the face of Black people. They do that all the time.
Yeah, this ain't nothing new.
All the time.
It's enough of us online right now that remember when it wasn't no AIDS. And in fact, I watched a video the other day. It was an up-to-date video. I watched a video the other day where they were talking about, because some people think I'd be making up shit. And I say a lot of this stuff you can go research. I'm not going to just say stuff like this off the top of my head. When we first heard about HIV, they said, they implied that some Africans were having sex with a green.
Yes, they did. And that whole thing was a straight up lie. And even Africans will tell you, if you try to have sex with a monkey, that damn monkey will kill you.
They're strong as
them monkeys will kill your ass.
So me living up here in the Bay Area, specifically San Francisco, when I was still in high school when all this went down. Do you know it got quiet in San Francisco? When they would have parades and stuff in San Francisco, especially up in the Castro, those people were literally walking up and down the street naked. They got rampant with it. They was having sex in the streets. And I never forget, I was up in the Castro district and I went to the store. And so they got like different kind of groups that do certain things. Well, they got a group that like to wear jeans, cut off jeans, and they'll wear their hair, they'll wear their haircut like a Nazi. And I'm standing in line, and the dude balls is hanging through his cut off jeans. Older white guy. That's how rampant they got with this. When that shit popped up, I mean, you seen white guys everywhere. Now, the face of HIV, Black folks.
Yeah.
And they even said that in the article, Lisa, about Africa, that with the HIV plus
and not only that, let me just jump in and say this. It is not the nature of a Black woman to lay down with a monkey. Y'all know that. Whenever you have porn where women are having sex with animals, those are Caucasian women. Black women, we ain't down with fucking some damn animal. That ain't never been our thing. That ain't never been our thing, ever.
Ugh, that's so nasty, Lisa.
That ain't never been our thing. And let me tell y'all one more thing. During the Spanish flu, when I was researching, when the flu first hit, the first phase of the flu, they said the ones that got hit the worst would be the ones with compromised immune systems, like your elderly, right? Mm-hmm. That, you can find the articles from back then in 1918, and that's exactly what it says. When the second wave hit, they tried to put the Spanish flu on Black people that lived in cities and said they were the ones spreading it. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Night to Shady for the super sticker. So the second phase, it was all Black people's fault. You know how many times in history they have done this?
I mean, it's so old. They don't know what else to do. They're not progressive enough and stuff. And then let's backtrack for just a second. The people that spreads disease first are wealthy people.
Yeah, because they travel. They're the ones traveling all over the place. Exactly.
And let's go back to HIV. When that stuff first came out, they were trying to track this one white guy, and they were talking about that a lot of white males to this day to do this, they go overseas to go have sex with whatever they want to go have sex with. They're the main ones that travel.
Kids.
So look how far, say a Black person got a disease.
And wait a minute, and we don't have all this money to be traveling the world.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say. How far, if we got a disease, how far can we get that disease? Can we get it around the globe? Because Lisa, they said up here in the Bay Area that they tracked down the guy who came all the way from Wuhan and came to what was that over there? Over there, I think it was over there near Napa. That's wine country.
Right.
Wine country.
Omega-7 Spanish flu actually came from China. It was somebody from Spain that traveled into China, and they flew home and took the flu there, and it spread. The only reason why they call it the Spanish flu, just so you know, is because that's where the first fatalities were. That's why. That's the only reason why it's called Spanish flu. But technically, it came from China. The person had traveled to China and then back home to Spain. He spread it, and the first fatalities were out of Spain, so it got labeled Spanish flu.
Yeah. And that list that you sent me, I got to pull that back up too. From the World Health Organization, you send me a 20-year list, and every disease for that 20 years straight came straight out of China.
Sure did. Sure did. Swine flu, all of that came out of China. Bird flu, y'all remember the avian flu? All of that came out of China. All of it.
And so when you sit and think about it, it's the wealthy people that are able to spread this because
they travel everywhere.
If somebody in the hood, unquote, have a disease, can they get it around the world? That's the question I want to ask.
No disease come out of the hood and spread around the world. Not one. We don't have that kind of track record.
Yeah, there you go. Rock Hudson died of AIDS. Yeah, he had money. He had means.
We don't have that kind of track record. Shit. There ain't no disease that came out of the hood and spread nationwide, y'all. We don't even have that reputation.
Yeah, you got.
We don't even have that one.
No, but they always want to make it. See, this is what they be implying, like they're implying in Africa, that Africa is just filthy, disease infested, and so
and that's disingenuous, because Queen, you know as well as I do, there's a lot of places in the U.S. that's filthy. And all of those filthy places aren't even in Black neighborhood. Go look at rural America, where a lot of white people are. It's filthy there. They got yards filled with trash.
Yeah, that you took the words out of my. When they get tired of something, they'll just throw that shit out the window. You'll see a mattress out there, a broke TV. They just throw it right out in the front and then walk around it and stuff.
A refrigerator on the damn porch with their 6-packs in it. All that shit. Man, please. We don't have, look, no matter what they say, we do not have a reputation for diseases coming out the hood, whether in this nation or abroad. Not one person on this planet caught some disease that originated in the hood.
No, it
not one.
It come from them, and in some kind of way, it ends up in the hood.
Right. And I want y'all to know, in every single instance, when they tell you something is going on in the Black community, there is not one instance where they showed the data and that panned out to be true. This is why nobody should believe them. When AIDS switched from gay white males to Black males, they never showed the data.
No.
At the same time, kept telling you and me and other Black people that Black people were the face of AIDS. You know, they never showed data.
Nope.
Not one time. And they got a standing reputation of doing that, telling us we got something and then don't show no proof. They got a reputation for doing that.
And you know, when they brought that up a few weeks ago about the Black community having this disproportionately than any other community, even some of these politicians were saying, show the data.
Right.
They won't show the data.
Because Ayanna Pressley and Elizabeth Warren kept saying, where's the data? They haven't showed one drop of data. They didn't show one drop of data during AIDS. They have never showed one drop. And this is why we have to stop believing everything at face value, y'all. Just because they say something to you, they have never proven any of it to be true. Not even once. That's what y'all gotta, this is why I was so annoyed when I would watch videos and Black people are parroting exactly what they said. It doesn't make sense when they have not had one instance where they showed us proof in anything. Just like, remember they were running around, Black people are 13% of the crime and commit 13% of the population and commit 51% of the crime. They ain't never showed you one trace of data that said that.
They just say
they gonna say it. Thank you, John L, for the super chat. Thank you. Love both of y'all content. Keep doing what you do. Thank you. No, they just say these things, but they show no data and never ever take percentage and per capita from them. You want raw numbers only. You don't want nothing else. Raw numbers only. But I want y'all to always remember that. Every time they try to make something the face of Black people, they never ever show you data.
They just think you can say it. So like when people are sending me links, sending me not articles, but just sending me saying, well, they said this and that. Some people get upset with some of us because we're responsible content creators. We'll go research it. And if it ain't there, it ain't there. It's like wherever it lands, it lands. You know what I'm saying? And stuff. And some people get upset because they just want it to be what they want it to be.
Right. Right. Look, they haven't even told us the truth about our population size.
Shoot, is
They haven't told
the way they telling us about our population size
makes
shouldn't even exist.
Right. And if they can't tell you the truth about your population size, what makes you think they're going to tell you the truth about anything else? Thank you, Dave Walker, for the super sticker. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is, I mean, no, I know why they won't tell us about the population size, because we're way bigger than any, probably any other group here.
Mm-hmm.
We have never had complications with having babies. We never had that issue. We never flatlined. We never struggled to get pregnant. None of them things happened. But you know what? I still came across Black people that will come back and tell me, well, Black people are having trouble with reproducing too. That's a damn lie. That's a damn lie. But we got some people among us that will go along with whatever's told to them, and they know damn well they never researched nothing. We can't reproduce. It's a lie.
So this is the question that I would ask when a Black person say that. Just sit back and just look at your own individual families. Is people in your family stop having babies?
Right. And the answer to that is no. But no. I've had some that will come in my comment section and say, Black people are having that problem too. And you know damn well you don't have no data that says that.
No, we're not having that problem, Lisa.
Okay, you don't have no data that says that. There's no data out there that says that. So where did you get it from?
It's like I was saying the other day. It's so many people in my family pregnant right now, just out the blue. And then I'm gonna tell you what tickled me. When we had the baby shower for my daughter, a lot of her cousins came on both sides of the family. Do you know them young ladies was sitting there talking about when they gonna have their second and third child? They were discussing when they was gonna have it.
It was a story just a few days ago. An African woman in her 60s just gave birth to twins.
Shit.
Okay. See, in Africa, what they won't tell you, a lot of times when you see those older women holding babies, that's their baby. That ain't no grandbaby. That's their baby. Them women have babies well into their 60s over in Africa.
Yeah, I remember you was telling me that.
Okay, that's their baby. When you see that older woman with the little baby, that's her baby.
Yep. Yeah, Mike. Yeah, Big Mike. Mike going, damn, 60. Yeah.
Yeah. That is a common thing over there. You'll see an older woman and she is still giving birth. My grandmother had her last one, my Aunt Brenda. She had her when she was about 39. And she had her first one at 16. She had 10 children.
Shoot, my daughter just had her first child and she's 38.
Yeah. See?
And in their world, 38 is considered
35. Their cutoff is 35, but you got to understand they base that cutoff on white women, not all women. And that's why over the years, a lot of women of other races were saying that's not right to base the cutoff for giving birth at 35 when it's only impacting one group of women and not all women. Thank you, Dee Dee Smith, for the super sticker. Thank you.
And think about like on those farms, they would be having a truckload. In fact, that that actress Regina King.
That's right. Janet Jackson was 50. That's right. Janet Jackson was 50.
Yep. Well, that actress Regina King, she was on one of those shows where they was checking out her ancestry, and her three great grandfathers, in his 70s, he had 11 children. He started having children in his 70s. What he did was they put him in jail.
Well, look, especially a black man, you term is potent, no matter if he's young or old. Them suckers can swim. Thank you, Mark Stewart. Bye, Diamond and Silk.
So she was trying to figure out, damn, what was going on, and it turned out that her Regina King's many great grandfathers was put in jail for a number of years. So when he got out, the woman that he ended up marrying, she was in her 40s and they had 11 children.
go. We don't have those issues. We don't have that issues. That's why, like I said, over the years, a lot of women of other races, they did not like that they had put out all these years, oh, the cutoff is 35. No, the cutoff is 35 for white women, y'all.
White women.
Not for all women. Not for all women.
And see, the thing is, the reason why males, because it even happened to black males too, are now on this Viagra, it's the Western diet that's doing that. You can go over like to Jamaica.
The worst diet on the planet is the Western diet.
It's that Western diet. It's that Western diet. Because my oldest son told me he got a couple of partners in their late 20s and 30s. They already on Viagra. And he said, but they live at McDonald's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, everybody is writing all this stuff in the comments. Their grandmother had their babies in the 40s and had 12 children. See, we don't have that problem. We never had that problem,
my great uncle, he's still living. My uncle Clarence. My father was older than his uncle. They grew up together like brothers. They were 6 months apart. Okay, my great grandmother was still having children.
Sean, my grandmother on my mother's side had 10, and my grandmother on my father's side had 9. Mm-hmm. So, these women had many babies, and every baby was born healthy. Every single one.
Yeah, that was the running joke in the family, because I used to hear them crack up about it, that my father was older than his 6 months older than his uncle. I said, what?
Here we go. Dee Dee Smith. I had my first child only at. Okay, so you were 38 when you had your first one.
Like my daughter.
She's now 20. Let's see, there you go. That's what I'm saying. We never had that problem. We never had that problem. And I kind of resent the fact that, even when they talk about the low birth rate, they like to kind of skim over it because they know how bad it looks. Look, what do they? Oh, we're the master race, a master race that can't reproduce. That looks very weak. That looks very weak.
And that's why they not backing they women like they used to. I'm telling you, overall, Becky don't get the same support she used to get and stuff. And you see them commercials that they keep putting up. They showing white men with black women. And even the Asian race, they having a population problem. And they impregnating them black women over there.
Well, they did it to themselves with that one child rule. They fucked their own selves up. But again, these are all the ones on the earth claiming they got all the intelligence, y'all. They're the ones that claim they got all the damn intelligence.
Said my wife, what is that? My wife is what? My wife is just months away from 40 when she had our daughter. Wow.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. My step grandfather had 22 kids. See, we never had that issue. We never had that issue, y'all. I had a couple of aunts in my family. When they got in their second marriage, they were older and they still gave birth. I got one aunt. There was like a 25-year difference between her first child and her first marriage and her second child and her second marriage. They're 25 years apart.
Wow. Yeah, that's not unusual. Yeah, because my oldest son, my youngest son and my oldest daughter, they 15 years apart.
We didn't have no problem with that, and we still don't. So y'all, don't internalize any of this bullshit that they try to put in our faces. We get the most of this and the most of that, and just think about all the propaganda they put out there over the years, right? Now, listen, remember when they used to complain that we were on welfare having all them babies? Remember that? Oh, y'all on welfare having all them babies, right? So how did we go from having all those babies to being just 13% of the population? You see all the inconsistencies that we're being told. If we're having all them babies, how can we still possibly be sitting at 13% of the population? since 1860, y'all. 13% of the population. You know how unrealistic that is.
That don't even make sense. Linus just said
from these people. Are you kidding me?
Linus just said when she was pregnant, her stepmother was pregnant at the same time.
Yes, there you go. There you go. Judah Life Broadcasting, thank you for the super chat. The Most High is always blessing the fruit of the womb of his people. Hashtag truth. You got that right. You got that right.
Your stepmom pregnant at the same time, Lord.
Yeah. I mean, even I remember even when I was growing up in the hood, I would see a combination of older and younger women and teenagers pregnant. You would see always a mixture of women of all age ranges pregnant back then. You know, so and you know that was really the norm.
Yeah, because even my second mom, she had 2 children in her 20s, and then she waited 15 years later and back to back, and she was in her, let me see, yeah, back to back, she ended up having 3. 15 years later, she just popped them out like that, and people was like,
Lord Maul, you're right. We ain't never been the real welfare queen of white females. We ain't never been no welfare queen. But like I said, anything negative or bad, they try to put it on us. They have always done that.
Yeah. Oh, Diamond and Silk. Is Diamond and Silk married? Do they have children? What's up with them?
Those are sisters. And, you know, they're from, thank you, Sean, from the Chai, had 2 kids, 18 years apart, both Virgos. You go, girl. And no, I know they're sisters, but I can tell you this, down south, a lot of sisters, you know, biological sisters live together. A lot of them do in the South.
Yeah.
So a lot of especially if, let's say, their husbands died or they got divorced. A lot of times they'll just move in with their sisters. And that's a very common thing. I got an aunt, my mother has 2 sisters, and that was the case. One got divorced. And instead of struggling to pay a mortgage, she ended up moving in with her, my other aunt. And the 2 of them, they've been living together under the same roof for 10 years now. That is a very common thing in the South. That might actually be the case with those 2.
Yeah, because we notice, well, they family don't even show themselves.
So it might be the case with those 2 because they are in the South.
Yeah.
Mother sisters did. See, I mean, yeah, that many of you, especially if you're in the South, you know that's a very common thing.
Oh, okay. Dale said that they did talk about that Diamond and Silk talked about. Oh, Diamond and Silk never talked about their kids. They may not have any. I know they have different last names, so somebody been married before, but I ain't
might have been married before.
No family. Zero.
Now, I don't even know if they're biological sisters or half sisters. I mean, they could be half sisters. You don't know.
You know what I wanted to ask you, Lisa? When I was researching them, they was talking about some stuff that they had said in March. What was said just recently for them to get the axe? That's what I couldn't find.
No, it was back in March when
okay, so the same.
Yeah, when she was talking about they didn't believe it was that much deaths or coronavirus in the country, and they were just putting this out in the media because they were trying to make the president look bad. So they were trying to downplay the coronavirus and try to prop Trump up, claiming that he's getting a raw deal in the whole thing.
I bet you Trump went to them to say that because see, Trump is intimidated by Cuomo. He don't like tangling with him and stuff. Certain people, Trump is intimidated by it, and he'll send out some nuts like that'll say anything because he's been very demanding on Trump because Trump wants New York open, and Cuomo said you gotta send me some money, point blank, and he been screwing him day one, what he been requesting. So I think Trump send them two coonets to say those things that he afraid to say. But you know, just the whole thing with Trump is so funny. Since he put his foot in his mouth, he did speak today, but he was trying to talk about something else. And what tickled me was, opposed to having the meeting where they in their press room, and that room that they have in is tight. Do y'all notice in that room the only people that wear masks is the cameraman, the two cameramen, and everybody else?
Yeah, and they got everybody trying to sit apart, but the room is very tiny. You can
tiny. But this is what I was thinking today when he gave his little flimsy little speech out in the Rose Garden. I think because the way Trump is so screwed up in the head, I think he think having it there, people won't question certain things. I'm telling you, Trump is screwy like that in his head. Because he really, if y'all look at the,
you know, one more thing, Queen, you notice when they do pan once in a blue moon, the camera over where the reporters are, you don't see nowhere near that many reporters in that room that you saw before. No. You probably can count the reporters on one hand.
Yeah, you can. It's so, that room is so small, and stuff. But what I wanted to say was, after Trump made that stupid statement Friday, and then he was in the Oval Office, look at his body language. And I was just looking at his overall being. His arms was crossed, and he was really nervous. He was scared. He was embarrassed. It was a combination of things running through. You could see all through him. And so that's when he jumped out talking about, oh, I was being sarcastic. No.
Oh, no. I tell you what, if he was that doctor he was turning to talk to, she sure didn't get that joke or sarcasm.
You see how her ass
looked like a deer in the headlights.
Mm-hmm. And then, do you know, last weekend, they sent her out to do damage control. And so she was saying, oh, well, what Trump really meant was he was just thinking out loud and he'll just process stuff. No. He said to her,
he really thought there is a way to research injecting disinfectant in your damn veins.
Yeah, because he was saying he was talking about the light. And then he was saying, yeah, you can kind of penetrate that through the body. And then you can take bleach and it kills it, you know, within minutes and stuff. And we can, that's when he looked at her. That's when he looked at her, Lisa, and said,
externally, on surfaces, that's not in the body.
Lord.
This man is dumb.
And they were even saying, his own folks were saying, when Trump was speaking at that time, he really thought he was being brilliant and smart. He really did. And I agree with him, because I went back and watched it, and he was really like, yeah, I'm being really smart, you know, because he figured he think he's the smartest person in the room. And then by the time it all processed through his slow ass and they got in that Oval Office, he was all defensive. And even some of his aides behind the scenes, people you'll never see, that will talk on off the press with the press, they were saying that they were embarrassed. They don't even want to be seen with him. They said that even some of the doctors don't even want to stand behind him.
You can't stand behind him because he says so many stupid things. Look, just like the malaria medicine. Now, unfortunately, I got one subscriber that believes the malaria meds work. And I'm here to tell you, somebody already, one of his supporters already used that shit and they died. Okay? They died. You can look this up. And I think the wife ended up in intensive care.
Lord have mercy.
The husband died. So, no, it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody died. Just look it up, you know, because unfortunately, we got people that will hear something and they will run with it. And I got one brother that is a subscriber. After Trump said that, he's been repeating it over and over and over in the comment section. Mm-hmm. Oh, you know, that malaria medicine worked. They don't want nobody to know about it, but it worked. I know it don't.
Mm-mm.
And you don't have no data that says it works. You just heard it from Trump and you're repeating it. That's it.
And it's some people that are that dumb, which we got examples of, like Lisa said, go look it up, that believe everything that come out of that come out of his mouth.
Yeah.
And to show you how people was believing it, they were calling with the what's that, the center that they call, like if you get poison or something like that, all weekend.
Poison control. Yeah.
The poison control. People were calling. They was calling. They probably had people on the
thing that malaria medicine has done is make people sick. It has done nothing else, but there are seriously people out here repeating that mess and saying, oh, well, you know, there is a cure, but they don't want to give it to people. It's that malaria medicine. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. You heard that from Trump and you're just repeating it.
The question that I would ask Trump, Lisa, is those millions of vials of malaria medication that you purchased, where are they now? Where did you dump them?
Well, Florida, that DeSantis, he did the same thing. He bought millions of vials for Florida and the shit don't work. Thank you, John L, for the super chat. Yeah. Granddad, last 2 kids are twins and they're younger than his first 6 to 8 grandkids. And Judah Life Broadcasting, thank you for the super chat. Whoever believing that the malaria vaccine works is the same person that's going to take the mark of the beast. You're probably right about that. But yeah, I got one subscriber. You can't tell him nothing. He swears up and down they don't want to give that to people because it works. And I was like, man, are you really that gullible?
You got people that will argue. You got people that will argue it down about that damn bleach.
Yeah.
That damn bleach and stuff. And Trump, remember this. And now one part Trump was right on. Now I gotta keep it real. He wants y'all, and I'm talking strictly to the enemy. He wants y'all to stay in the sun a lot. So y'all need to get out there and really get in that sun and bask in it. You know? and the minimum.
No sunscreen, because if you put sunscreen
on, it won't penetrate.
That's going to block the sun from working. So you have to go out there with no sunscreen on.
The minimum, and it has to be consistent. The minimum, you got to be out there for 12 hours minimum. You can't break in between that at all. 12 hours minimum.
And if you're still feeling coronavirus, get out there for another 12 hours the next day.
Yeah. You'll be ahead of the game. Now, Trump is right on some things, so we got to speak truth. Now, don't inject yourself with anything.
No, and if it don't work by the second day, you need some hog weed. That's what you need.
The sun is free. You don't have to pay for nothing or anything like that. And then hog weed is free too. Just get as much as you can, but you got to make sure you lather up in that real good. 12 hours minimum. So 6 on one side and 6 on the other, guaranteed.
It'll work even faster if you got the hog weed on the skin and you drink it internally.
Oh my goodness. So, I don't want to knock Trump like that, But don't.
And if the hog weed juice don't work, you're gonna have to go in for the kill. Get the bleach, inject that, and drink the hog weed.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
Step it up and get the full effect in.
So 12 hours, 6 on one side, 6 on the other, and all of that. And you're gonna be good. And it's free.
They were calling poison control. Are you people really that dumb?
Well, Lisa,
Oh
Lisa, wasn't you the one that told me when YouTube had they shut out or whatever, people was calling the police on YouTube?
Yes, when YouTube went down, y'all might remember that. I think that was 2018. It went down, and people were calling the police because YouTube was down. Called the police. What is the police going to do? These people, they call the police for anything.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, call the police. When you told me that, I was like, what? The police on what?
Yeah.
People.
These people are serious. They called the police because YouTube was down.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know the police were server technicians too.
Yep. And you know what? Then the police is getting that shit. I mean, man, I'm telling you, Corona, she's something else. She's something else. She like police. You know, the police keep trying to, be what the police be, but Rona then showed up in their life.
Mm-hmm.
And she not going nowhere. She not going nowhere. That's that one relative, y'all have an event and y'all don't want them to know you're having an event, but they seem to always show up.
Now, y'all, remember, there's going to be meat shortages. I never make the assumption that people don't eat meat. I know many do. They said you're going to see the first signs of the meat shortage by the end of this week.
Mm-hmm. Did you see
remnants of it in your stores?
Did you see the footage of them dumping all them vegetables and stuff out in the desert?
Oh yeah, well, I did a story yesterday. You know what a lot of these farmers are doing? They're letting the crops rot, and whatever they can't get rid of, they're digging holes and burying it underground instead of giving it to the people that really need it.
That's a damn shame.
And you now got food banks with cars coming in there miles long. Mm-hmm. People are coming in there to them food banks to get the food.
Did you seen the cars?
Yeah.
Them people. And then I only know of a handful.
They're saying it's going to be another pandemic, a famine in the world this year. Mm-hmm. They're already projecting it. They said you got a pandemic going on, a second pandemic of food shortages.
Mm-hmm.
So famine in the world is about to go pandemic.
Yeah, but they rather take the food and just dump it in there.
They got the Mexicans out there working. See, it's hard for them to maintain those farms because you can't do no social distancing. That's the thing. That food got to be picked. And in order for them to do a lot of that work, those people got to be practically side by side with each other.
Mm-hmm.
That's a job. You can't space people apart. You can't do it.
But no, what it is they don't want to spend the money for people that work for them, for their, like the Tyvek suits. Because if they wore that stuff, they would be protected. Like I was telling you, it's a sister that I know up here in the Bay Area. She works at
90-something degrees when they're out in that field because you sweat even more just from all the movement,
I know.
You would have a problem with people possibly passing out.
Well, they got to provide them everything they need, Lisa.
They do.
I'm telling you something I know. I have worked on jobs, Lisa, where it was hella hot. And they have to, on those construction sites, they have to provide everything that we need. And they would have two big yellow 5-gallon jugs. One was with water and one was with Gatorade, either one that we wanted. We had all the masks we needed, all the Tyvek suits that we needed.
And I know y'all did, but you got to look at the circumstances now. You got people working in Walmart, they're working in grocery stores, and they don't even have a mask.
No, they don't.
Look at Amazon. You would think a place like that, you got the owner that's a multi-billionaire, he would be able to give those Tyvek suits to each employee. He won't even do it. They're out here striking because they don't have the material and all the protection they need.
That's like I was saying. I have a friend that works at the post office, and when I talked to her Saturday, I actually seen her. She had just got off of work. She said at the post office, U.S. Postal Mail, they will not provide no gloves.
They got their own.
They won't do it. They want no gloves, no masks.
And it's not right. You're expected to do an essential job and your employer won't even provide that. In my opinion, if you are doing that type of essential job and they won't provide, they need to shut them businesses down. They need to be forced. They need to force them to close until they get the proper gear that their employees need. Period.
And if y'all been, I know y'all been listening since they've been opening up like certain parts of Georgia and stuff like that, a lot of folks, they ain't opening their businesses.
No.
They scared. They staying in the house, and mainly you see us.
Yeah. And we're doing those essential jobs. That's why we're the ones dying. It's not because we get it easily. That's the piece they won't tell you. Most of these essential jobs are worked by Black people. That's why they are dying, because they're coming in contact with a lot of people, and some of those folks have the virus and they end up with it. That's the piece they won't tell you. They're trying to, it's just feel good stuff for white folks to believe, oh, well, we don't get it that much. It's those Black people that get, it's just feel good garbage.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you're missing a crucial point in that whole thing, is that most of these essential jobs out here are being worked by Black people.
Well, you know,
that's why they're dying because they are heavily in contact with people from the public. And they won't tell you that part. What they're doing is very dishonest. But hey, isn't that their reputation?
Yeah. Now you said something key, Lisa. You said it's feel good. So it's feel good for them to always eventually point the finger to our community. But there's a difference going on.
Right.
It's tearing the lining out their ass. So you feel good. You can feel good while you on your oxygen mask, and the oxygen mask is killing you too at the same time and stuff. So you can feel good. You want to feel good, but your family dying around you. You want to feel good because you want to hear that Black folks is dying of it. You want to feel good, but you're dying left and right. But you want to feel good. People in your neighborhood is dying left and right, but you're feeling good at the same time while your ass is dying.
Right. And see, that's why they're taken to the streets, because they got the misconception. Well, hell, it's just them Black people dying. Open up the country. We know why you're out there.
Okay,
so why your ass is out there.
So check this out. Who they gonna blame when that second wave hit and stuff, and we in? You don't see us out overall. So who they gonna blame?
Right. Right. And it's coming. Like I said, from the time they opened everything back up, count out about 10 to 14 days. Count out about 10 to 14 days and watch the numbers jump up in Georgia.
Yeah. So you gonna blame Black folks this go round? Most likely they will, just because it feel good.
Right.
Yeah, it feels
not
good.
Because it has any truth in it. And to me, what they're doing is extremely dangerous. Now your folks are out here walking around unprotected, no mask, no gloves, no nothing. And they already got in their head, oh, we ain't getting it that much. Just them Black people. You're putting them in danger now. You're putting them at risk over a lie.
And it feel good. Lord, these people are shallow. Feel good. And stuff. So the question I wanted to ask the family and Lisa, since Diamond and Silk, unemployed, what kind of work you think they can get now?
I don't know. They may have to brush off them tap dancing shoes.
Yeah, you think Trump gonna help them?
Trump ain't gonna do shit for them. You know that.
Yeah, Trump
ain't gonna do shit for those two. At the end of the day, they are on their own in their unemployment. He ain't gonna do squat for those two women.
He got a reputation of that because he even do it with his own.
He ain't gonna do nothing for them.
Now Paris Denard would do anything for Trump. Where's Paris Denard at? The last time
talk all favorable about, I like Paris, but yeah, he don't even mention Paris anymore.
No.
It's like he didn't exist. Just like David Clark, you see all them pictures with David Clark with Trump, and he don't even mention him no more.
Yeah,
so you can best believe Diamond and Silk, their names won't be brought up again.
Yeah, and that's just like because see, I know what Candace Owens is on.
Oh, she's about to go down. Her moment is coming.
Yeah, don't forget the FBI is investigating her ass, and she real flip it, like she can just flip them people off. They coming for her ass. And I seen her over there on Twitter today, Lisa. She had on a mask that said "Make America Great Again."
Oh, that's
but no. Didn't she say she wasn't wearing that shit and falling for that shit? So why you got the mask on?
Right.
You know? But I know what Candace is on. That article that you send me, Candace is trying to get attention anyway. It don't matter if it's negative or positive, because her book sales ain't the business.
This ain't the time to be selling no book.
And that's what she's
You know what I mean? She got some horrible timing. This is not the time to be selling a book. Not unless you're gonna give that bitch away for free. Nobody's gonna pay attention to that right now.
Well, you can get it free on Kindle.
Right. I mean, I wouldn't pay for it, and I don't particularly.
I don't even want it for free.
I don't want it at all.
Waste my time listening to that book. She the one reading it too. They got her doing it. The audio is free, and on Kindle is free. And I think the hardback is like $30.
Oh hell no, she ain't worth no damn $30.
$30 is toilet paper money. Shit.
No, that ain't gonna work.
And and I think that's really what it's about. Is she's upset because coronavirus is overshadowing when they launched that book and stuff.
Yeah, but every time she gets attention is over some stupid shit she said.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really the only reason why she gets it.
Boy, when that chick fall hard, I tell you this, her little dumb husband, he gonna step right away from her. Right away from her. And this chick goes to the store every day to go get food.
That's what I don't understand. Who the hell needs to go to a supermarket every day?
Yeah.
She don't even make any common sense.
She ain't cooking nothing. And her little dumb husband, he just be sitting there. You married and you're going to go get food every day?
I mean, come on. I ain't never heard. That's what she said in that video when they told her to put a mask on in Whole Foods because the other customers were complaining about, her and her husband being in there and not wearing masks. And I was like, and she was like, well, we go every day. Who the fuck goes to a supermarket every day? That don't even make any common sense.
But you see what she's doing is when she go different places, she starts shit with people, or she starts shit with people online because she wants the attention.
Right.
Pissed about that book. Like give a damn about that little raggedy book.
No, ain't nobody reading that piece of shit, especially now. We got so many critical things going on in the country. Her book is the least of anybody's concern.
So this is the reason why Diamond and Silk is in the situation that they in. They not bright enough to know when to shut off the cooning. That's as far as they elevate, and they just think.
And look at y'all. Look at the shelf life of these coons. You see them for maybe a couple of years, and then they drop off the radar. It happens every time. We ain't never seen one coon for even 10 straight years. We ain't seen one. They don't even make it that far.
And if they do pop up, they'll have them to do something to make themselves just look ridiculous. It's like on the level of this when you'll see a great boxer and doing a real wrestling. It's just so like, damn, that was such a great boxer, and you didn't reduce yourself to that because you didn't manage your money properly and stuff.
Or y'all remember the boxer? Some of y'all remember this on the chicken commercial.
Oh Lord, Lisa. You know what? That's what I wanted to tell you. I think I told you a couple of weeks ago, you sent me a video of Sarah Palin in a chicken suit.
Yes.
Rap
big butts. Yes. Sarah Palin rapped out big butts. Like, she got one, right? She don't even have a butt, but she rapped out big butt.
You know what? Sarah Palin was more interested in doing that. That's why her husband left her ass, because she's so self-absorbed, and that's what that's what she was into. She think, oh, I'm gonna be rapping, I'm gonna be having fame and fortune, and your ass in a chicken suit.
She was in a chicken suit rapping out Sir Mix-a-Lot, big butt.
She was serious with that rapping. She was putting her back
with her screechy voice. Yeah.
She was like, ooh, I'm rapping now, man. Lisa sent me that. I stretched out. I had tears in my eyes. I had tears in my eyes. I said, no, this cow did not do this. No, she did not do this. I said, oh, okay, she did do this.
Yeah.
Woo! And her husband left her ass. She didn't. I think, didn't you tell me, Lisa? She didn't even know that she was being divorced.
No, she heard it in the media.
Ooh, that's bad.
In the media. He didn't even bother to tell her.
He had him another woman.
I know he did. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
I think if he didn't have some woman to fall back on, he probably would have still just sat there with her.
Yeah, because he wasn't all for the limelight and stuff, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And Sarah Palin, it show you how disconnected this chick is. That child that she had, her youngest child, has Down syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
I read the article thorough. She went into labor, and she had all these speaking engagements when she was governor. She was in full active labor, and over there in Alaska, you have to fly to a lot of those townships over there. She wanted to try to fulfill all of her obligations for that day before she go to the hospital to give birth.
Mm-hmm. And go read the meaning of that child's name, Trig. She might as well have named him retard. I'm serious, y'all. Go look up what Trig means.
Wow, I never tripped off of that.
Yeah, she named him. She might as well have named her own son Down syndrome, because that's what his name means.
Do you know that child?
Go look it up.
That woman gave birth to that child. It wasn't 3 days, and her ass was right back out in the streets.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, go look up the meaning of Trig.
Wow.
Type in those letters of his name and watch what comes up. So, like I said, she might as well have named her son Down syndrome, because that's what his name really means.
She never really. That's like her daughter that came up pregnant. That guy that her daughter had her first child with.
No, it's not short for trigonometry. No.
That first child that her daughter had, that when they interviewed that boy, he said nobody wasn't there. He was
I remember his name was Levi. I remember that.
Yeah, he said basically he was saying it wasn't like he had to tap on the window and crawl through the window. Nobody wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
The parents wasn't there. So he said he was at the house all the time, knocking her up. But then Sarah Palin got a nerve. I got to drag her. Now, Sarah Palin, when she was in college, she was a dick bandit, but she wanted black men. And a couple of black men came forth and said, oh, yeah, I used to screw Sarah Palin and stuff. And, she went to 7 different colleges. But anyhow, when her daughter started messing around with black guys, then she going to put a stop to it. She was just keeping up the family tradition. That's all. What's up with that? Sarah Palin? She didn't want her daughter out there doing that. I got to go get my second glass of grape juice.
Okay.
Oh, that juice is so good.
But yeah, if you look up Trig, she named her son after a genetic defect. That's what it means. I was like, who the hell names their kid after a damn genetic defect? But that's what she did. I mean, that's disgusting for a woman to do that to a child. Yeah. But yeah, look like Diamond and Silk is joining the unemployed now. They are joining the unemployment line for real. Yeah, I mean, it like I said, it's disgusting if you go and look. And I was like, why would somebody do that? That is that is just sick. But that's what she did. That's what she did. Yeah, that's some sickness. Yeah, I remember when Glenn Rice, that's right. That was the one that Sarah was laying around with. But you know what? She's one of many. There are many. And those of you that went to college, you know what I mean. There are many of them that be chasing after black men, especially once you get in college. and they're living away from home in the dorm. Oh yeah, they be on the hunt from black guys. You know, I saw it. I saw it. That's why I laugh when their men be running around here trying to act like, oh, don't touch our precious women. Your precious woman is a hoe. Okay. I seen her butt in action. And I'm not the only one. Many have. Please, y'all know what I mean. If you've been to college, you done seen these women in action. And then they try to act like they're so meek and innocent and, oh, we got to protect them. Please, your woman's a dog. What are you talking about? We done seen them. Do you know how many times when I was, especially in my teens and in my early adulthood, how many white women that I was around would ask me, what is it like being with a black man? They were talking about sexually. Okay. I have been asked that multiple times by these women. Okay. Multiple times. So it's downright laughable when they act like their women are just so precious and they can't be touched. That bitch has been touched 1,000 times. Get out of here with that mess. Please, y'all know what I mean, especially if you went to school with these people and you work with them. You know how they be questioning you on the size of a black man. I can't tell you how many times one of them, what is that like? Oh my God. Yeah, because that's what deep down inside, they desire us like that. They'll deny it, but they really do.
I didn't even have white men ask me questions like that at work. What is like to have sex with a black man? I ain't telling you shit.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, you know, they have all the time. Yeah, they want to get their freak on with a black man. We already know this.
Mm-hmm. I'm eating some pita chips. They good too.
Oh, okay.
Baked twice. No, we're not.
They wanted us back in chattel slavery. Come on.
What did they say?
They've been laying around with us for hundreds of years. This shit didn't just start because there's some commercials on TV. This goes way, way back.
This is amongst white men. This is what they have amongst themselves. A white man say they not a man until they have sex with a black woman.
Oh, well, then they will never be a man through me. They'll never become a man if it has something to do with me. Forget that mess.
I don't know how a sister do it.
But
we got some.
You know what? Remember, they go on them girlfriend trips. We know what them girlfriend trips are, y'all. We know what the hell them girlfriend trips are.
Remember I told you that video I seen? These women, it was some fat, wealthy white women from the UK. All of them shaped like barrels. They went over to some region in Africa, and the brothers, they put on a little African guard to play the little game, and they was just going over there for sex. And so this one lady married one of those guys and brought him back to the UK, and they had been married like 5 years, and she was pissed off because she said he don't work. And when they interviewed him, he said
he did work. He worked pulling his pants down for a living.
And that's what he said. He said,
yes,
he said that he kept his end of the bargain up. He don't know why she upset. Now she want him to work, you know, the traditional marriage and all of that type of stuff like that. But you know what? She won't send him back, because she sent him back. She ain't gonna get none. She ain't gonna get none. She already know it. She gonna be looking sad and everything. She'll ask
women. When you watch the videos with those women that fly over to Jamaica and Africa and play, them women look like donkeys. they have been I guess they've been married for so long, and they've been with the same. They're just not turned on by the man they're with. They just got to get a black man, and they'll fly everywhere. But y'all notice one thing. You don't see a plane full of black women flying to Ireland to lay around with the men. That ain't our thing. We ain't gonna pay 5 cents to go fly somewhere to lay around with them.
Me and about 5 or 6 we're gonna get together. Say, girl, let's go over to Ireland and go find them little Vienna sausages.
Man, get out of here. We went 3 pennies on that. Y'all know it. We wouldn't spend 3 pennies to fly somewhere and lay around with them men.
I can stay right home.
Trust me, that's a one-sided thing.
That sure is.
That is one-sided for real.
Man, you gonna go? Man, black women gonna spend their money to go to Ireland to go search for Vienna sausages? Oh no,
hell no. We ain't spending shit on that. I wouldn't spend 5 cents to cross the street to stand next to one. Are you kidding me?
Gonna hunt for Vienna sausage, Lord.
Yeah, see, that ain't our thing. You ain't never gonna show a video with black women, a group of black women flying to Europe to land. Man, please.
Lord.
Please.
I'm not the one. You got everything that you got at home, and then you leave the house to do that. Yo, something wrong with you.
We don't have that reputation.
No.
We don't have it. Becky got that one all by herself. We don't swing that way. Just the thought of us flying somewhere to lay around with them just makes you laugh.
Oh, I just want people to know. I'm gonna keep it coded. I found out, and you can do your own research. Y'all really need to drink that sour sap tea, brothers. It really helps. That's all the stuff. That tea is a miracle tea. That's all I'm gonna say. I found out something about that tea. Lord have mercy.
Yeah, maybe a black Brit, but not. Well, I seen some of them rough-looking people over there in Great Britain. Some of them motherfuckers got brown teeth.
They sure do.
They got some looking teeth. I don't know. Maybe it's the hard water over there or something.
People ain't never seen a toothbrush. I can't go to bed without brushing my teeth.
Yeah, I seen them old bad looking horse teeth they got.
You're supposed to brush your teeth and rinse your mouth real good before you go to bed.
But man, you look at them. There's no way we would hop a plane to even. Oh no.
Oh yeah, like Boris.
No.
My husband keep asking me why Boris won't comb his hair, and Boris got a bunch of children too.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
Never say those women won't lay down with anything because they sure would.
Money. Okay, some of y'all is catching on. Yeah, do some more research about that tea. But wait till I do my
public service announcement.
Boris laying the noodle.
Man, that man looks so unkept. It's not even funny. And when I did that video on him, y'all know those were lint balls all over his suit jacket. Someone wrote in the comment, maybe that was dandruff. No, I know the difference between dandruff and lint balls. That was lint balls.
Lisa, I think he's sleeping his clothes.
He probably do.
And then wait a minute. Let's not forget about that big ass sore we seen up on his wrist.
On his wrist, yeah.
And that sore had been there for a minute. That was a big, nasty sore.
Sure was.
And Lisa was telling me a while back, the women that he been with, he treat them bad too. He treat them women bad he been with.
Yeah, I saw pictures of his brother. They look just as recessive as he does. It looked like that's just a family thing.
You know what? I seen a picture of his mother and his father, the whole family together. His mama's teeth is brown. Just like the Queen of England's mother, who lived to be 100, that woman's teeth was brown. You know what? Even when they showed the black and white footage of Queen of England's mother, you could still tell her teeth was jacked up. Her dad.
When you look at her younger days, she didn't look good back then either. That woman was jacked up looking even back then.
That woman has some fucked up looking teeth.
She was never attractive. She was never attractive. In fact, I saw pictures of her in her wedding dress, I guess like in the early 1900s. Woo, that was a hard looking woman in that wedding dress even back then. Woo,
Yeah,
that
they said that she was a commoner, and that her father really loved that brown teeth woman. That woman's mouth looked nasty. You know, grandma. Oh Lord, that's all I can say. Her mouth looked nasty. She was always smiling too, and that's like now you can even get your shit whitened up and everything. But you know, I make my own toothpaste, and I put the extra ingredient that I put in my toothpaste is I put that food grade hydroperoxide, and that whitens your teeth up. People be thinking I done went to the dentist. That shit that they use at the dentist is dangerous to whiten your teeth.
Anything these people make, it always have some issues with it. That's why it's better to make your stuff at home if you can. And lotion, I make my own lotion. And put all the ingredients that you like in it and everything. And it's, I mean, my stuff is very moisturizing, y'all. And I know what's in it. So, you know, like True Royal said, you make that shit at home, you're going to have the best toothpaste, best lotion, best deodorant ever.
Yep.
You don't buy that mess on the market.
And it's easy. All you got to use is extra virgin coconut oil, baking soda. Now, some people like to put stevia in it. I don't like the taste of stevia at all. I never did. So I don't put no sweetener in it. Then you use organic peppermint oil, and then on top of that, I mix some of that hydroperoxide in it and stuff, and that's what whitens your teeth. You can even make your own mouthwash.
Baking soda. I just brush with straight baking soda. I have for years.
Oh, that's what you use on your teeth? You use Earth?
I use straight baking soda.
Yeah. That's what Amari does.
That's what people used back in the day, y'all, before toothpaste was a big thing. They used straight baking soda.
Straight baking soda. They used they also used charcoal.
Charcoal.
And over in Africa,
baking soda. It's dirt cheap in one box. And that box will last me for a long time.
You notice overall when you when you see our folks in Africa, you don't see rotten teeth, and I've seen them get this stick. It's a particular stick. It's called a liquid stick. My dad used to sell them in his herbal store, and they'll take that stick and they'll use it on their teeth, all in their gum.
And not only that, not only do they have the nice teeth, they also got the best skin on earth, and they bake in that hot sun day in and day out, and still got better skin than most people on the planet.
Lisa, skin look like silk.
Still got better skin than everybody on the earth.
Yeah. Baking soda, mint, coconut oil, and for some whitener, use a bit of hydrogen peroxide. That kills all bacteria. Because I even rinse my mouth with hydrogen peroxide.
What I do, y'all, is I just wet my toothbrush. I dip it in my box of baking soda and get it all coated. I brush my teeth, and then I rinse with hydrogen peroxide. I've been doing that for years.
And your mouth is so fresh.
I've been doing that for years. I don't like the toothpaste because it's got fluoride in it. And I don't want the fluoride.
Fluoride gives me a terrible headache.
I don't want it. So that's the way I avoid the fluoride. You know? And peroxide is an excellent thing. Do y'all know that stuff get the stains out of anything? You can have a stain on your clothes and your carpet. Pour some of that peroxide on it. It'll take every stain known to mankind out. I mean, that stuff is great. That's one of the reasons why I like having it around. If I have any kind of stains on a shirt or anything, pour some peroxide on that baby and watch it disappear. Watch the stain just completely disappear.
Work better than bleach, Trump.
That stuff is excellent. It got so many uses. It's excellent.
People been making their own stuff to clean the house with, and they'll use that.
One time, when my dog was still alive, he had, up to a certain point in his life, he was having seizures. He wouldn't have them that often. It might have been maybe one seizure, like every 2-3 months he would have one. Well, one time he bumped his head real hard on the floor and blood was on my carpet. I went and got the peroxide. You would not have found a trace of that blood on my carpet. Wow. Once he started getting up in age, the seizures just completely stopped. He stopped having them. And that dog lived to be 19 years old.
Wow.
I fed him all organic food. I didn't get no canned dog food. He ate organic. And he lived for 19 years. It was a great thing. And that's what I'm saying to y'all. That peroxide will get anything out.
It sure will. After you clean your mouth up real good, it's sure after you rinse with that, it make your mouth feel so fresh. And you know what? First, before I started making the toothpaste, I was using baking soda. Anytime I'm pregnant, I can't use toothpaste. The smell of toothpaste will make me gag. And that was the only thing I could use to brush my teeth with was baking soda. So I just kept using it until I actually.
I had an American Eskimo dog. I'll show you what it looks like. Hold on, y'all. That's what I had. I'll pull up a picture. I have a picture of him, but I never uploaded it.
Yeah, I know.
No, but I do have a picture of it.
But that's what made me start using baking soda, because I couldn't use the toothpaste. Like certain things when you're pregnant, it just make you sick. Like I couldn't stand the smell of cooking oil, stuff like that. And when I was pregnant, I brushed my teeth and I was like, wait a minute, toothpaste about to make me gag. I said, you still got to brush your teeth. Use the baking soda. I didn't get that reflex in me. But right. When you use that stuff, it's abrasive and it really cleans your teeth good.
All right, let me share my screen. I'll show you what he looked like if you don't know what an American Eskimo dog looked like.
Okay.
Here he is. My dog looked exactly like this one. This is what he looked like.
Oh.
He was a small one. He was not there. There's a large version of this dog.
What was his name?
The small. His name was Ziggy.
Oh.
And Ziggy was about 25 pounds. So he was about the size of this dog. He was 25 pounds. And when I got him, the people that took him to the shelter, it was like 40 of these dogs. And I was like, why are there so many? Overbreeding took place. These folks used to breed and sell them. Well, overbreeding took place and the city made them get rid of the dogs, and they got slapped with a fine and everything. And when we went up there, Ziggy was one of 3 that were left. It was one slightly bigger than him, but he was kind of mean. And then there was another one that was kind of quiet and off in the corner. And Ziggy was the one that we ended up picking. And that's how we ended up with him. We got him from the shelter. And he was a full-bred Eskimo dog. He was full breed. He was not a mutt or anything.
That's a pretty dog.
He was beautiful. Beautiful.
I didn't know they come in a smaller version.
Yeah, you can get the big one. In fact, there was a woman on the street. She had the large one. And the thing is, the big ones are fence hoppers. So the big version of them, they love hopping a fence, and they're diggers. They love digging holes in the yard. When the smaller breed don't really do any of those things, but for some reason, the big, large breed ones, they love digging holes. And if you got a fence, they will jump that fence and go on about their business. this woman, every time you turn around, she had her leash in the hand and be running around the neighborhood screaming for them. They would hop the fence all the time.
It's just in their nature to do that. Wow.
Yeah, yeah. But the smaller ones, like the one I had, you didn't have none of those issues. He didn't dig. He didn't hop the fence.
It said, "Oh, ma'am, new just reported a ER doctor in NYC committed suicide."
I believe it. I can you imagine all the death they see every day? I couldn't do it.
Yeah,
I couldn't do it.
There's too much in them hospitals, man.
Mm-hmm. No, Loretta. In fact, the dish that Loretta eats out of, I actually passed that down to her. It's the dish that my old dog used to eat out of.
Dog dish. Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah. She got the same dog dish. She doesn't care as long as her food is in there. She don't give a damn. That was originally a dog dish.
Oh, that's cute. That's so cute. Loretta eating out the dog dish.
Yeah, just recycle.
She in the closet sleep.
No, she's downstairs. She's downstairs. But yeah, I just recycled this dish. I mean, it don't look like it looked like it could go for a dog or cat. You know what I mean? It's not like it has bones on it or it looks like it's for a dog. It really, you could use that for a dog or a cat.
I got a dish. The dish they have. It's a miniature, like water bottle dispensary.
Yeah, that's what I have.
Oh, you had that too? Okay, yeah.
Yep.
I like this. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just recycled his. And then she loves it. I mean, she'll just eat. She don't care. Just as long as she's getting fed. She don't care what that dish will look like.
And then the litter pan is a igloo. And they have to walk up the little stairs to go inside the little litter pan and stuff. I like those igloos.
Did you see the ones that they're the litter box where they gotta go in it from the top? They climb down in it and then they climb out of it. A lot of people prefer that because, you don't get none of the kitty litter on the floor. I'll show it to you. Let me pull it up on Amazon. They got some where they got to go into it from the top. They just jump into it.
Now, my Russian blue cat, when you change that litter pan, his ass will sit in a corner and watch you. And as soon as you finish, he go in there and take a fat one. I said, now you didn't even have to take a dump all day until we change this damn litter pan. He do it every time.
Yeah. Yeah, here it is. I'll show it to you.
Yeah, I want to see that. I never seen one like that.
Yeah, some people prefer this because they said you don't have to worry about a lot of the litter.
Tracking and stuff. Uh-huh.
Yeah, hold on. I'll share my screen.
Because the igloo one that we have, they don't track on that one. That's what
I got that one for Loretta too. All right, here we go. All right, here, y'all. Here it is. See? What the cat do is they climb in on the top of this litter box. They go and then they just climb out.
You click the other pictures. I want to see that.
Mm-hmm.
Get out of here.
They just climb in it. They just climb in it from the top. And then they just climb out of it. See that?
Wow.
A lot of people prefer this because they said with this one, very little debris of the litter is on the floor. And they like this one better. When they kick around the litter, because Loretta does that. When they kick around the litter, it won't even end up on the floor. So they like the top entry one.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the whole thing is supposed to lift up and you can just take the little litter tray on the inside and dump it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so they call it a top entry litter box. And you get the little scoop with it. I saw these actually when I went in the pet store. They had a bunch of them. There's a black one. So you can get them in different colors. But yeah, just top entry litter box.
I like that black one.
Yeah, they're nice.
Okay.
And it depends on, it depends on what you want. Because you can get them even, I've seen some that were round. I saw some that were square, so they come in many different sizes and shapes too. Yeah. I mean, the cats, they get used to going in and out of there. They know they got to, climb in it and climb out.
Mhm.
And, and cats have a lot of agility. So it's nothing for them to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just natural for them to like going into little cubby holes and little
Climbing on stuff, that's natural for them too. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you know what? You find that cats, they really prefer their litter pan to be enclosed like that. They're private. They
Yeah.
like to go in private because the way I got it set up, they can go in the igloo, but then I have where their pan is, I have a bamboo divider. It's real decorative, and I have it in there where you don't know what's behind there. You just think it's just some little decoration, which it works for that too. But I give them the utmost privacy, even though they still going inside of the igloo.
Right.
My cats are real private when it come to using a bathroom. And then my Russian blue, he has something wrong with his digestive tract. Anytime he got a puke, do you know he got sense enough to go in there and puke?
Mm-hmm.
In there?
And the thing is, the top entry one, that comes in large, medium, and small. So, you can get it according to the size of your cat.
That's pretty cool where when you separate it, you just take one part off. You don't have to do a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've seen also people that train their cats to even use the toilet. I've seen that too.
Yeah, my dad had a
Where they don't even bother with a litter box. They just train the cat to use the toilet, and that's it.
And that joker's smart enough to flush it too.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. But my cat's been using that. My cat's been using that igloo so long. I put something new there. They'll be sitting there looking at you like, cat. You got to be real funny with cats introducing new stuff to them. They're subject to walk away from it.
Yeah, well, a lot of times the scent of the litter will entice them to go in there and go to the bathroom. Because I know when I brought Loretta home, I said, okay, when I took her out of the box that I got from the shelter, I took her out right next to the litter box so she would see it immediately.
Yeah, so she knew instinctively to go.
She knew where it was. So I said, I'm going to purposely take her out of the box where the litter box is. Then she saw the litter box, but she ran under the couch. She's been under the couch for like a week. I was like, okay, I know you're scared, but you're going to have to come from under that couch.
Yeah.
And I was able to get her out. I had to get her out because the vet that we have comes to the house. Mm-hmm. I don't have to take her to the veterinarian office. I got a veterinarian that makes house calls.
Oh, that's cool.
So she had to come out for that. So we had to get her out just for that vet visit.
So how long did it take for her to get acclimated to the household?
1 month. She hid out for 1 month.
Mm-hmm.
She hid out for 1 month. After about a month, she would come from out of the couch and would stand across the room from me. But, she would just stand there. If I turned to walk near her, she'd run back under the she'd run back under the couch, but she broke out of it in about a month. Cats are like that. They're scared when you bring them home.
I guess when everybody was asleep, she in there in the litter pan eating.
Yeah, she went to the litter box immediately. Mm-hmm. There was no issue with that, but she was just scared. Cats are like that. They said some cats will hide out for 6 months. That's how petrified. So she wasn't quite that extreme, but I was reading sometimes it takes a cat 6 months to adjust. And the thing is, if you move, you got to go through that all over again. When they get to the new house, they'll go back into hiding because they don't know where they are. Yeah,
when we moved here, we had to put them in the smallest room with the litter pan because it kind of frightened them at first.
Mm-hmm.
And it took them a couple of weeks to adjust.
Yeah, they said with dogs will adjust immediately because we did move once when we had the dog, but he just, as long as he saw us, he was fine. Mm-hmm. But cats, it takes cats a while, and I remember even when I got Loretta, they told me, cats don't like a lot of change. When you start changing stuff up on you, they don't like that. No, they get mad. I took Loretta's crate down after she got used to roaming around the house. I took her crate down. Do you know she had a fit? Because I took her crate away. I was like, you don't even need it. She was pissed. Like, how dare you take my stuff away from me? I was like, you're not even using the crate. But yeah, she had a meltdown when she walked in the room and the crate was gone. I was like, you're free to walk around the whole house. What are you upset about the crate? But I guess in her mind, that was mine. That was mine.
When we bring stuff new to the house or a package is delivered, they sniff it, they examine it, and then when we open the package, it's they neck is all long, rubber neck, watching. I'm like, damn, they show into it.
Yeah. Yeah, dogs are equally as nosy like that.
Yeah, you bring something home, they gotta go investigate the shit. And
you know what's funny about Loretta? If your hands don't smell right, she won't let you touch her. If I'm cooking, and let's say I just chopped up an onion, and she'll come near me, when I go to put my hand down, she'll like, oh, hell no, don't you touch me. I do that on purpose to her. Yeah, if you got certain scents on your hand, them cats won't let you touch them. They're like, oh no, you better get out of here with that hand.
She helping the cause. She helping, making sure.
I love it. I'll chop up. I'll mince some garlic, and then she'll come in the kitchen, and I'll put my hand down, and she's like, "Oh hell no! Don't you touch me with that garlic hand." I love doing that to her. It's so funny.
Yeah, she's just making sure y'all keep your hands clean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, make sure you keep your hands clean. I know my stepson came over yesterday, and he said, I have never washed my hands so much in my life and stuff. He just been, I just pay attention to what our folks say. How, now he's a young man, how serious and took it. And you know what he been doing at his apartment? He didn't strip that apartment down. He said he didn't scrubbed every wall with bleach. Our folks don't be playing that shit.
No, our people are real good at sanitizing. That's why when they start talking about sanitizing, I said Black people naturally sanitize their homes, and you know what I mean? We do that naturally.
But this just sparked some stuff in people. And he said, I got a bunch of time on my hand. I don't have no job no more. And he said him and his roommate just started going from room to room, all in the drawers.
Yeah, you know how many times I've walked in a Black person's home and it smells like pine straw or smell like bleach because they done cleaned up. You know, our houses just naturally smell like that.
I had my son to empty all the drawers in our kitchen and bleach all the drawers down.
Mm-hmm.
So just to do that in-depth cleaning.
Do you know, Queen, if a cricket comes in my house like over the summer, when I bleach my kitchen floor, do you know the fumes alone kills them? Yeah. I'll go downstairs and there'll be a dead cricket on the floor because I done bleached the floor, and the thing would crawl onto the floor and die.
That's the key right there. That's the key right there. And stuff.
I've had many of them, and or a spider may get in and crawl on the kitchen floor, and the next day I'll wake up and the damn thing is dead on the kitchen floor from the fumes.
They're not gonna last. They're not gonna last and stuff. But that's what we've been doing. We've been doing like internal cleaning, disinfecting inside the cabinets.
Yeah, but most Black people I know, that's how their houses smell when I go over. You know. That's how it is for us. We didn't need to be told to disinfect.
Yeah, I wanted to make. I just
told that.
No, we did, like you said, we just naturally did that. But since I don't know, I just said to my son, which we do that, but it was just like a little extra something after you heard all that. I said, you know what? I said we're gonna slowly but surely. We don't have to rush through it. We're gonna go through these cabinets, disinfect the cabinets, and everything. And I remember. I don't really get that many canned goods. I'm not into canned food, but I can remember, I don't know who it was around me, but when they would go shopping, they would make some dishwater and wash all the canned goods they would buy. Do anybody ever remember anybody doing that around you? Washing the canned goods from the store?
My grandmother, I remember Queen, I remember when she would buy a gallon of milk and she would take the gallon and put it right in the sink before she would put it in the refrigerator and clean it real good.
Well, you know what?
She did that all the time. I remember watching her do that.
We need to start doing that. This stuff that we get from the store, we need to start washing that shit down real good.
Mhm.
You know, we blindly been putting stuff in our refrigerators and not
Or
washing.
at least get the bleach wipes and wipe it
I
real
got some of those. And yeah, just wipe down the containers of milk or whatever you got putting in your refrigerator. But I remember I used to trip off it. I used to say, why are they washing the cans in the store?
Do you know when I used to work, Queen, people, we were talking about handling food and they were like, I told them I used to wash my meat, and this white woman I worked with always had a runny nose. She gonna look at me and say, you don't have to wash meat. Meat is already clean. Well, I swear to y'all, maybe a week later, they had hidden cameras on these folks that worked in the supermarket. They were kicking around the meat on the floor, tossing it back and forth, playing with the meat when they should have just been packaging it and putting it out there. And that's what they were doing. And I said, now do you see why you need to wash your meat? Because you don't know where that shit's been before it makes it on display at the supermarket. You don't know where that stuff.
You don't know what travels it into.
And those employees all ended up getting fired. But they were kicking the floor on the meat on the floor, throwing it around like a football. They were just playing and they got caught.
That's good.
And it was meat at a supermarket. These were supermarket workers doing that. And all of them, and when the hidden camera, footage came out, they all got fired.
Did you see that? Did you see that Chinese dude last week over there in China? They're making masks and he was rubbing his feet and stepping all on it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Well, we saw what they were doing when it was going strong in Wuhan. They were spitting on elevator buttons and doorknobs, and people are nasty.
Yeah, and they was doing that towards their own folks.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody here in your channel, I seen them. I don't know whose name it was. They said they work in Walmart, and they said wash your canned goods and everything. Said,
yeah. No. Well, I worked. When I worked in IT, my last job, I had a Black woman that was one of my employees that reported to me. She used to work for Pepsi bottling company. She told me, don't ever put your mouth on a can of Pepsi. At least get a straw and wipe it down. Mm-hmm. She said they got so many rats up in those manufacturing, and those rats are always running all over those cans. And she said, you never want to open a can of Pepsi or Coke or anything, because she worked there. And she said, don't ever open those cans and put them directly to your mouth. Mm-hmm. That's what she told me. She said, wash the can and get a straw or pour it into a cup, but don't put your mouth on the can.
Yeah, so that's another thing. That's another thing that people at home who don't know what to do with their kids have them babies in there washing the groceries that come in. You know what I'm saying? That's another teachable moment for them.
And but you know what she was saying makes sense, because damn near all of these warehouses around the country, let's face it, they got all kinds of rodents in those places.
Yeah, it's hard to control all that stuff, and that's just the way of doing it. Just wash that stuff down.
Yeah, and that's what she told me to always do, because she was like, look, I worked for Pepsi and I saw them rodents in there. Mm-hmm. A lot of people, we take things for granted because we can just walk in a supermarket and buy it, but you don't know where it's been. You
don't know what journey you've been on.
Right. Before it even reaches you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is nasty. But you know what? This is the way things have been ran in this country from day one.
Yeah. And we sitting there blindly.
They put you in bad conditions to work because they're trying to get everything on the cheap. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You have to do those things. You never think about that. I mean, I think now we're in a situation you have no choice but to think about those things now.
Yeah, just before you, it's what I do is like we used to do old school, like even before I use a dish, I just rinse it out
Yeah.
and stuff. But the new dishwasher that I have, it has a sanitizer in it.
Mm-hmm.
And you can set it on the sanitizer and that joker get hot. Woo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of stuff, you definitely need to do.
Mm-hmm. It'd be on the level of like, back in the day with our baby bottles and stuff, we would disinfect the bottles
Mm-hmm.
real good. I remember I had a whole kit with my first daughter.
Yeah, Twit Mistress, I love alkaline water. And I do everything with that water. Even when I make my soursop tea, I always make it with my alkaline water. And I also cook with it. If I have anything that calls for water, I use my alkaline water. I use it for everything.
I even rinse my fruits and vegetables with it.
Mm-hmm. And I just remember Dr. Sebi talking about alkaline food. And when you use alkaline water to cook your food, you're also making your food alkaline. So you definitely want to do that.
Mm-hmm. Give it to your animals too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
We're a smart and very resourceful people. Y'all know about a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, because that bottled water that we got, that water filter you said we use that. Man, that water tastes good, Lisa. That water, it has a taste. It has a different taste.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, y'all. All right, we're gonna go ahead and end this live stream. Thank y'all, as usual, for stopping by and listening to this live stream, because this was definitely some juicy behind news.
They're gonna make I'm gonna be looking for some more stuff, because the next move, they're gonna be hollering racism.
Mm-hmm.
You done got the pimp hand from Fox.
Man, that was one hell of a pimp hand indeed.
They've been waiting to get rid of them. I can just feel it.
Mm-hmm. No, come on. I always knew they weren't going to have a long career in TV. Come on, those two. Yeah, right.
And Trump's relationship with Fox is iffy. They got a love-hate relationship. One minute he's in, one minute he's out.
Mm-hmm. And let's face it, Fox they got a reputation of never keeping anybody black there long.
What's that? Stacey Dash?
Yeah, some people call her Stacey Trash.
Trash, her broke ass. She didn't even know how to get the lawsuit money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now she in there. She probably in there scrubbing clothes in the bathtub, singing spiritual hymns.
Mm-hmm.
A little thing on her head, a rag. You ain't gonna have no problems with her broke ass.
No.
Broke. Mm-hmm. And that white guy she with, he don't got a lot of money either. But he has more money than her.
Yeah, look like you may have more money than her at this point.
She couldn't even get a lawyer.
Wow.
He bailed her ass out of jail. She made one of them collect calls and said that she was sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost done. She made a collect call.
I gotta get my ass out of here.
And his kids don't like her. She probably making their beds up, all kind of stuff. Stacey Dash.
And she had to tell the cops who she was. I'm Stacey Dash. Clueless. Clueless. Yeah, that's Stacey.
When was that movie made? That was going back to the Clueless.
Isn't that the 90s or early 2000s? It was been quite a long time.
90s. Stacey Dash, she up in age. Sitting up in there, broke ass.
And I think she was in her 30s when she did that movie.
Then her cousin tried to help her, and she clowned him. He put her in a movie.
Oh, yeah, Damon Dash. Yeah.
He clowned him. He was trying to help her with some coins, and she acted a fool. She can't even do a commercial. A voiceover.
Yeah. I don't think she's ever been with no brother, because I think even her first marriage, that was some white dude, wasn't it? I think so. I don't because I think her kids are, when I looked at them, they look biracial.
Yeah, they do look biracial.
But
I just wonder, what did she do with all that money? She got that Fox money.
She was reckless with it. She's reckless.
No, she was not reckless with it, Lisa. She was clueless with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
man.
Mm-hmm. Goodness.
I knew she wasn't going to last long on Fox because all she did was take the platform and talk against Black people. There should be no BET. There should be no Black History Month. Every chance she got to open her mouth, she was talking against the damn Black community. I was like, girl, you ain't going to last long on there.
And now your ass broke.
They couldn't wait to get rid of her.
Ass is broke. And them white girls, before they got rid of them white girls, they got some lawsuit money.
Yeah, they sure did. A couple of them did.
So did. She didn't even jump. I would have been right there getting that lawsuit money. Now she done married a broke white boy that she waiting hand and foot on. You think we'll ever see her on the big screen again?
No.
And she don't like being in those little them little ghetto movies. She don't want to be, at least it pay you something.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She was with Al B. Shore. You're right.
You dated Al B. Shore?
I remember that was a long time ago. Yeah, she was with Al B. Shore.
No, I don't remember that.
I do. I remember that. It was back in the day.
I remember
it was probably back in the 80s. She was with Al B. Shore.
I remember when Janet Jackson was with Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know about that story.
Yeah, I knew she was, but yeah, Stacey Dash got 2 children with Christopher Williams. Oh, I forgot all about Christopher Williams. You're sure right.
She got 2 children with Christopher Williams?
Yeah. That was somebody else she was with back in the 80s.
How many children she have?
I think she got 2 with him.
Wow.
She's Mexican and Black. That's what Stacey Dash is. I think her mother's Mexican and father's Black. Yeah. But it's so funny, when she got arrested, she was listed as Caucasian.
Boy, she sure was looking toe up on that picture too.
Yeah, you're right. She was with Christopher Williams.
I didn't know she was with.
And he didn't get no singing gigs because they said Christopher Williams was dirty. They said his ass would get booked for a singing gig, right? He would take the money and not do the show. And that's what ruined his career. Go look it up. He would get booked to do shows, and his ass would, apparently they were paying him up front. He would take the money and not do the show and screw all the people that were waiting there, waiting for him to come out and sing. And that's what messed up his whole career.
How long that's going to last?
It didn't last long at all. You see how he disappeared. You don't even see him on any circuit singing now.
No, that people will get that news out quick in that arena, and you ass out. That ain't cute at all.
He messed up his own career doing that mess. I think his only film was New Jack City. I remember him in that.
I seen him in. Remember he was on Atlanta Housewives?
Yeah.
And he got in a big fight there. It was in there scuffling it.
Yeah. So he pretty much screwed over his own career.
They was over there talking real bad, which I think it was wrong. Keisha Knight Pullman, she had a baby with that dude that got baby.
Yeah. I don't know what she was. I don't know why she hooked up with him. That dude didn't have nothing. She hooked up with him for.
She was desperate for a baby. That dude is broke. He got kids where, and they said somebody was saying she don't deserve to get the child support. Well, he got to take care of his child.
Yeah, he sure do. I don't know why you feel that way. He's still responsible for what he brought in this world.
And women,
I don't agree with that.
Women was all gawking at him because he got a nice body, but shit, a nice body and you broke ass.
Yeah,
you can keep that.
Yeah, I said, boy, I don't know what was attracting her to him, because I was like, he doesn't have nothing. He's just some broke from the hood.
I really think it had a lot. She was desperate for a baby. I really do.
Yeah, it could be.
Because he was saying she was really pressing to have a child. He ain't gonna sit up and say that he wanted her to take a paternity test, saying that wasn't his child. I said, that girl ain't cheating.
Yeah.
Not her.
Mm-hmm.
That was messy. But now people turning on her again, saying that Well, he broke and he had to sell his house. Well, nobody didn't tell him to start slinging his shit all over America.
Right.
He's with everybody. That
Mhm.
should go both ways.
Right.
Because she got more money than him. He still got to take care of his child.
That's right. I do agree with that.
I don't care. I don't care. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And he was cheating.
Yeah, she was very attractive.
No, do you know what they were saying? I was watching this video. I ain't gonna give up the person's channel, and they were saying, now, we know Rudy. We still look at her as Rudy. She a grown woman.
Right.
Damn, y'all need to let that go.
Mm-hmm. No, she ain't Rudy. She's Keisha.
Keisha, she's not Rudy.
Keisha.
Mm-mm-mm.
You know, I guess next you're gonna say what is it? Raven Simone. You know, yeah, she's a grown woman. She's not that little girl anymore.
That dingbat.
And I didn't like her character when she was a little girl. I know some people like that kind of stuff. I don't like when they make kids flip it.
No, me either.
In the roles. To me, that's a turnoff. But for some reason, America, every time they get a black child, they always want a flippant mouth black child. Mm-hmm. You know, even when Gary Coleman, I mean, he was funny at times, but he was just too flippant at the mouth. And most black parents don't put up with that mess.
Well, that's even back when they had Good Times and they was having Jimmy Walker upstage the father in there. We don't allow that in our community.
No, we don't allow that mess. But I always notice a pattern of that. Whenever you saw a show with kids, they always have some little flippant, have the kid just smart mouthing everybody, the parents, the grandparents, and all. Our kids don't do that.
We don't allow that shit even to this day. That shit ain't cute. Don't get you.
No, we don't allow that mess. But again, I guess that's just them stereotyping us and stereotyping our kids.
Yeah, get your teeth knocked in your throat. Go ahead.
Yeah, they always do that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what show it is. You always got that little foul mouth little kid.
Go to grandma's house talking like that. She'll kick your ass. My
grandmother, back in the day, Queen, my grandmother had a black shoe. You crossed that woman didn't get no switch. She didn't get no belt. You got your ass beat with that black shoe. She didn't play. She told you it was my grandfather's black shoe. It'd be a big black shoe. That's how you got your ass towed up with that black shoe.
She had the designated shoe. Lord.
She didn't whoop you with no switch, man. The switch was easy. You got the shoe. And she will wear you out with that shoe too.
Lord. No, my mother used to tear my butt up with a little thin belt. At least I got a whooping probably twice a day. I was such a bad little kid. Shit my mother would hear that I did when I was grown. She said, you still need your butt whooped. But I was a sweet child.
No, I didn't get excessive beatings. You know, I probably deserve some. But I didn't get a lot of them. But you know, when I did get it, I did deserve it. But no, I did not get excessive beatings. And my dad didn't really beat me at all.
My dad never touched me. My dad never touched me.
He didn't touch me like that. If I got a beating, it was always from my mom. My dad would not put his hands on me like that.
My mother tore my ass up.
But he would yell at me. And just my dad yelling at me would make me cry.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that hurt me. So he didn't have to hit me.
No.
There were times when my dad would get so upset with me and I would just cry because he was upset with me.
Mm-hmm.
So he didn't have to hit me.
No, what got me in trouble was shit that they would find out later.
Mm-hmm.
Something they would find out later. They'd be like,
Kim had her ass out in the street with them boys. I'm gonna kick your ass.
I plead the fifth. I'm gonna say nothing.
Well, one time I was in the car with 4 guys, right?
Ouch. And
my brother went to tell on me, and I convinced him it wasn't me in that car. It was me, but I was able to convince him after about arguing for about 20 minutes that was not me in the car. That was, but I confess now, that was me in the car.
Did you tell him later, years later?
Yes.
No, he was mad.
But I had him convinced, no, that was not me. That might not me in the car with them guys. That was not me.
He was gonna go home and tell. Lord.
Yes, he was. Lord. He was ready to tell on me, but I had him convinced. I don't know. I know that looked like the outfit I had on. That was
oh my goodness.
Wasn't me.
You really got that mistaken.
No, me. I wouldn't do that.
Oh my goodness. Lord. Oh, that is funny.
Mm-hmm.
So who is going to tell you, mother or father or both?
Both. And what had happened was, Queen, I was hanging out with them. We had cut school.
Oh, Lord.
We had cut school and went out joyriding for the whole day. That's all we did. We went out joyriding. It was just, I was the only female in the car.
Oh, my goodness. And he happened to see his sister.
Oh, he saw us. And see, he's 3 years older than me. So he was driving at that time before me.
Oh, Lord.
So he saw me. I swore up and down. Nope, that wasn't me. I know they had the same hairstyle and the same that wasn't me.
Oh my goodness. And he believed it, Lord.
I had him convinced.
I
had him convinced.
That is hilarious there. Yeah, he was doing his job being the big brother.
Mm-hmm. He was gonna rat me out, y'all. That's how I got out of it.
So after you convinced him, I know you was still kind of treading light just to make sure he won't slip up and say anything. Because I would have been watching him close. You're like, oh,
no, I didn't say anything. I didn't confess until after I was married, y'all. Prior to that, I never confessed.
How did he react when you finally told him?
He laughed and he said, I should have known that was you.
Funny. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I had no business having my ass up in that car. I was like, at that time, I was probably about 15. I was 15 years old. I had no business having my ass up in that car.
You start thinking about the stuff you did when you was a teen and you'd be shaking your head. You'd be like, wow, how did I survive that?
Do you know, there were times I really should have had my ass beat and I didn't. One time, I did not get home. I don't know how I got out of this one, Queen. My mother used to work second shift at the local newspaper. She was there for 22 years. I had just came in from a house party. I just got home. I got out of my clothes, but I had my bathrobe on, and y'all, I still had on a face full of makeup. My mother came in the door probably like 15 minutes after I got home. I rushed in and I took all my clothes off and I put my bathrobe on and I went back downstairs. My mother came back she came in the door and she looked at me and she was like, "What are you doing up?" I said, "Oh, I just got kind of thirsty and thought I would come down and get something." Man, I was so happy. My mom was super tired and went up and went to bed. I think if she would have took a closer look, she would have seen all that damn makeup still on my face. I knew I was lying my ass off, but she didn't catch it. She didn't catch it. I think she was just exhausted from working her shift.
Yeah, she didn't really look at you with the
but
makeup.
I had a face full of makeup on. My hair was still did and everything. it was like going on 2 a.m. I had no business bringing my ass in that late, but I did.
I used to do stuff like that.
Boy, I should have had my ass toe up. And
I would wait till my mother go to sleep and crawl out the window, be gone.
Man, I should have been busted badly that night. I should have been busted bad.
I get home hours later, she still be sleeping in the same position. I'd be like, damn. I never I was always leaving that house.
Mhm.
Then I become a parent. I become a parent and become strict. And my family was like, "Why are you so strict?" And then one of my cousins was mumbling under her breath, "Yeah, if only y'all knew." That's why she said, "Oh my
Yeah,
goodness."
man.
Mm.
Yeah, like I said,
Did
there
you
were times I should have had my ass beat.
cover the makeup on your face when you went back upstairs? And
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
you. Oh damn! Let me get this off.
What I had were facial wipes, and I just got it off that way because it would have made too much noise if I would have went in the bathroom to wash my face. But yeah, I was, man, I was shocked I wasn't busted. I just knew when she saw me at nearly 2 a.m. looking like that, she would have known you just got in here, didn't you?
Real fresh. Hair whipped up real nice.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have that look like
y'all know them house parties. Y'all know what it's like in them house parties.
Red light parties.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah, we were bad, especially by the time I got in junior high school. We were bad, y'all. Y'all remember Spin the Bottle?
Yeah, I didn't spend that.
We were 13 years old, down in the basement at a house party with all the lights off, practically playing Spin the Bottle
I know about
basement. And then, of course, when the adults would come and turn the light on, oh no, we ain't doing nothing but listening to some music. We know we lying our asses off. We're playing Spin the Bottle.
Oh Lord. No, we used to play hide and go get it. To go play. So you go hide, and then the boy go find you, and then he go get it. Play and spin the bottle too. Yeah. Play hide and go get it.
We got in trouble like that a lot, but some adults fell for it and some didn't. Yeah, y'all up to no good down here. Y'all up to no good down here. Y'all go home.
This is what they would holler. Is Red there? Yeah, I'm here. Okay, y'all in here doing something bad. If I was there, then something was going on. And that was bad too. Shit.
My cousin, it was New Year's Eve, and this must have been like, I would say like around 76 or 77, y'all. My uncle and my aunt at their house, they were having a New Year's Eve party downstairs. And they made the kids go upstairs. We weren't allowed downstairs, I guess, because of our age, and they were serving alcohol. So we had to stay upstairs while they were downstairs partying. Well, my aunt said, I don't want to hear a lot of noise up here. We would start out quiet. Then we would start cutting up, acting crazy. And my aunt would come up here, come upstairs and say, y'all better stop making all this noise. I'm going to send Hubert up here, who was her husband, right? So we would quiet down for maybe like 10, 15 minutes. And then we would just start, because we were doing all kinds of stuff. We were playing charades and doing all kinds of crazy shit, right? So my uncle came up with the belt, right? We all dove on top of the bed, on top of each other. My cousin Roland, the one that got murdered, my cousin Roland got stuck on the top, and he got the beating the worst. We were screaming. He got it the worst.
Lord.
And we were some badass kids. We were some badass kids. Then another time, my cousin came over for the weekend. His name was Calvin, and he and I are like a year apart. We were at one point almost like brother and sisters, more than first cousins. Well, we got in trouble because we came in late as kids. I just took the beating. I knew my mom, when she went to grab the belt, I knew I was going to get it. So I just took the beating. He got so damn scared. He ran outside in the damn rain with his pajamas on because he didn't want to get a beat. When my mom finally got him back in the house, she gave him, man, his beating was far worse than mine. He stayed in the house. He got his ass toe up.
Lord.
See, them parents back then, they didn't play. They didn't care nothing about no You know, they didn't care about no cop being called. You didn't call no cops like these kids do today. You didn't call no cops.
Mm-hmm.
The cop would have left and you would have got another beating. That's how our parents were.
Mm-hmm. That's the way it's supposed to go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, you know, Anthony, I was allowed to wear makeup, believe it or not. You know, I would get makeup,
Mm-hmm.
but it was very obvious that I had just got in.
Mm-hmm.
And another giveaway was it was snow on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I had been driving my car and my car didn't have no snow on it. That was another giveaway. I didn't have no snow on my car, which means the engine was still warm and the snow was not sticking to it.
So, Lisa, having an older brother, how did you get around him?
Well, it was really not that hard because by the time I was in junior high school, he was already in high school. Okay. So we did not go to the same school. The only time we went to the same school was elementary school. After that, by the time I reached junior high school, he was in high school. And then by the time I reached high school, he had already graduated.
Okay.
So we always went to different schools.
All right. Mm-hmm.
You know, we weren't around each other like that.
Yeah.
Your parents meant business back then. Yeah, parents did mean business back then.
Mean business, yeah.
Oh, hell yes, they did.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, I saw kids get beatings outside back then. The parents would come on the street after their asses and beat them right in the street. I've seen that too.
Yeah, sure. I remember growing up seeing that. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, these parents didn't play. I remember one of my friends that used to live across the street. Her mother beat her ass on the front porch one day. She was on the front porch and her mom came out and wailed on her with that belt.
Yeah. Oh, I remember those days very well.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, y'all, I've seen it all.
But yeah, I guess me being an only child, I was just able to get away with just a little bit more. I had nobody to tell on me.
Mm-hmm. I got away with a lot. And I think, you know, I was the only female. so, you know how it is. They hard on the first child, but by the time the baby comes along, the baby got it easy. Yeah, I was even listening to the Jacksons talk about that. They said how tough the father used to be on them. But by the time Janet was born, you know, Janet didn't get it like the rest of them. You know, she was the baby, so she had it a lot easier than her other siblings.
Yeah, that's what my children say about my youngest son, Cleveland. They say, you don't know her. You don't know her. They do not like to get me upset.
Yeah.
And stuff. But I didn't just wail down on them. I just didn't play. Because I know what kids do.
Yeah.
I invented dirt, folks. The shit I would do. And my mother said, if you wasn't grown, I would tear your tail up to find out some of that stuff that I would do.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, my mother told me to confess one day. She was like, "What did you do that I didn't know about?" I said, "I'm telling you everything."
No, I ain't gonna repeat some of that stuff.
I said, "I can't be telling you everything. Just know I'm still your angel, right?"
You still for you. I'm here for you.
Oh yeah, Whitney, yeah, because you know Whitney was from New Jersey, so I heard a lot of that stuff that came out of Newark on her. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I know. Lioness, she knows Whitney.
Mm-hmm.
She told me some stuff about Whitney.
Yeah, I mean, we knew that all over the state of New Jersey about Whitney, even her lesbian.
Yeah,
she was
Robin.
Yeah, all the lesbian stuff that had came out about her. I knew about that before she even made it big.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because her mother told her and Robin they couldn't be friends like that no more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Her mother knew something was going on.
Yeah, and you see how tough her life is now.
Mm-hmm. Robin put out a book. I bought it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw her interview where she was crying and everything. I saw the actual interview.
I seen that interview. That was a deep interview.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we got some more only children here. Oh, Queen Latifah. Oh yeah, we know Queen Latifah a mess.
Mm-hmm. She's one of many.
Yep, but she's a very talented person. I was just looking at the
Oh
different.
yeah, she could. That's one thing about Queen Latifah. She could sing and rap.
Did you ever get her jazz album?
Mm-hmm.
That was a really good one. It was good.
See,
All of the
it's the same way. I mean, a lot of people don't realize she was a singer when she first came out. She got into rap. She was another one of the few that could sing and rap.
Yeah, because that whole album that she did, her jazz one, she dedicated it to her mother because she said her mother always wanted her to really just get out there and sing. So she did that for her mom. I liked all the cuts on that one. Very excellent singer. Yes.
Queen Latifah did have a brother. One, her sibling was killed.
Yeah, I remember. What, on a motorcycle or something like that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I remember that.
No, Latifah, she can.
I remember all of them. I remember Heavy D. I used to love me some Heavy D. Mm-hmm. When he came out with Mr. Big Stuff, I loved myself some Heavy D.
Uh-huh.
I used to love that rap when he came out with that. That was one of my favorite back in the day.
I can remember when rap first came out. I remember I was in junior high school in the 7th grade. And we was loving what we was hearing. We was like, oh, that's cool music.
Mm-hmm. A lot of it was, that was when the East Coast was big, y'all. Yeah, the East Coast was big in rap.
Remember,
I remember the East Coast West Coast rivalry. I remember all of that stuff. Yeah.
I remember some of the female rappers like Roxanne. Mm-hmm. All that boy, that was some good
MC
stuff.
Light.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. She was out of New York. I remember when she was big on, especially on the East Coast. MC Light.
Mm-hmm. It didn't get crazy.
Sugar Hill Gang. I remember Sugar Hill Gang.
Yeah, that was the longest rap song. Lord. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. But it didn't get crazy until they came all the way to the West Coast with that gangster rap shit, because when that rap came out, it was real positive, very conscious. It wasn't all that what we hearing now.
No. And they really messed up rap.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was. It had a good message and everything in the rap.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, Rapper's Delight. I remember that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, well, Heavy D always had a weight problem. That's why he was Heavy D. I remember him. I remember the Fat Boys. Some of y'all remember the Fat Boys.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. And I think only one's living, the other ones died because, their weight problem. They died.
Yeah, that the other one that's still living, he lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, the one that was the human beatbox. Yeah, he was the first one gone. I think he was only 27. Oof. When he died, he had a massive heart attack.
I remember they would come out with them. They was doing the break dancing. They would come out with them B movies, them rap movies.
Yeah,
I thought that was some big stuff. Watching them movies.
Beat Street. Yeah, I remember all that. I saw all of them in the movie theater. I remember when they came out. We went to the movie theater and watched that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Salt and Pepper.
That's my group. I like Salt and Pepper.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Although Pepper done now lighten up her skin. I was like, damn, Pepper, you had to go there?
Pep trying to stay young.
Yeah, well, she done bleached her skin. She don't even look like the same Pepper.
Yeah, and then Salt, she done got real religious.
Mm-hmm.
There's always a battle between them because certain songs she don't want to do it, push it real good.
Yeah.
Like, we got to make this money. Pep want to make that money and stuff.
Yeah.
Conflict going on there.
I didn't like that. Remember they did a show and Pepper was trying to find a date and she was kissing all over that Chinese dude that they had matched her. Oh man. I was like, man, I can't look at this.
Yeah, they was trying.
Yeah, it was a Chinese dude hitting on her, and then there was an episode with her kissing all over this Chinese dude.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember that.
I don't remember that, but I remember the other rapper girl with Chili. They was trying to
Oh, she got on my nerve.
they was trying to find Chili a date.
Yeah, and I what I didn't like about Chili was when you go and look at those episodes, she was always highly critical of the black men.
Yes.
They try to match her with, and then when the white boys would come around, she'd be all giggly. I was like, oh no, you didn't. I remember that.
You know what? Linus Tretch, he got into porn. That's what Tretch got into.
Mm-hmm.
He got heavily into porn.
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, that's what when I saw that, I was like, oh no, I can't watch this no more.
That turned me off with her.
She found no fault with the white guys, but every time she was matched with a black guy, she found everything wrong with him. Mm-hmm. Everything was wrong with the black dude. I will never forget that. That's what turned me off. I think I watched maybe 1 or 2 episodes after that. I turned it off. I didn't watch it no more.
Yeah, I didn't stay into it. It was something that held my attention. Did anybody see that a couple of weeks ago?
No, I know Chili ain't all the way black, but what I'm saying is she was very critical. She had a lot of colorism in her because she was highly critical of the black men that were on the show. She just found fault in everything a black man did. But when she got matched up with a white dude, she just, everything with the white guy was fine.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I didn't like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't like that either. Mm-hmm.
And it was very obvious too.
Yeah, I was like, wow, she is really picky.
Mm-hmm.
Really picky. You could tell she was very difficult to deal with, and that's why her and Left Eye got into it a lot because they said she was real money hungry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they stayed into it quite a bit.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think didn't she have one Arab parent?
Yeah, but
the parent was black, I think, something like that.
She didn't know for years who her father was.
Yeah.
So she was raised around black folks. Yeah, but her father, he abandoned her mother.
Yeah.
And she was on that Sally Jesse Raphael show, and that's how they hooked up.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the Ghetto Boys. Yeah, Willie D. I remember Willie D back in the day.
Me too.
The Ghetto Boys.
Willie D looks good for his age.
Yeah. When Willie D lost his channel, he had reached out to me. He and we talked on the phone for, I would say, a good 20, 25 minutes. And I spoke to his lawyer too, and helping him try to get his channel back. And he was able to get it back. He had that press conference. And I think during the press conference, they put it back up because, one thing about YouTube, they don't want no bad publicity.
Yeah, they don't want no bad publicity, but they love fucking over you. I know.
Yeah, they sure do.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I remember I watched that press conference because he was telling me about it on the phone. And I told him, I said, oh, yeah, I'm definitely going to tune in when you have the press conference. And yeah, before that conference was over, they threw his stuff right back up.
They ain't bothered him since. You notice that?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. That was unusual, though. One thing about YouTube, they won't mess with celebrities that much. It's very rare for a celebrity to lose their channel, So what happened to him was really very unusual. They'll come after somebody like me before they go after a celebrity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought that was unusual too, because even the worst celebrity, they'll just stay away from them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I guess Oxyman must be at home. You've been on here for a minute.
No. He's either a contractor or an employee. Because if you notice, when YouTube sent their employees to work from home, that's when he disappeared. That's why that dude works for YouTube. Mm-hmm. He's robbing the company because he ain't doing no real work. He's out here trolling people. He ain't doing no real damn work.
They suffering when they can't troll. That stuff really disturbs them when they can't do that.
Yeah. See, if he tries to log in remotely and try to troll, it'll get picked up immediately. That's why he's not doing it. He would get caught immediately.
Yeah, Oxyman.
Mm-hmm. We know you're an employee or contractor. You hooked up with YouTube, brother. We know you are. You're not fooling us. You didn't disappear for no reason. You disappeared because YouTube closed up shop and you have to work from home now. So you got to do some real work now and earn that paycheck. Can't fuck around now.
I wonder how many of them in YouTube got sick with that shit.
I bet you some. And I think in order for them to close up shops, somebody had to get sick.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know how many, it's not like they publicize that stuff.
Damn.
But you can best believe somebody was getting it because they closed it up.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm still, I still been checking with family and close friends. I only known of 2 people to get their stimulus check.
Yeah, well, they claim on the 29th of this week, a lot of people should see their direct deposits. So we shall see. I didn't see a dime. So I haven't seen 1 red cent.
And shit, some people I was reading, they ain't even got their unemployment yet, let alone a stimulus check.
And you know what? It's same here. My husband got his first check, y'all. He got the first one. When we went in to put in the claim for the following week, he hasn't gotten another one since.
Damn.
Not one. I mean, you can tell they already said the system can't handle the amount of people that are on unemployment. It is 26.4 million people that have filed. And they have never had this amount of people ever in the country's history to have that many people filing for unemployment. And you're talking about this amount of people applied in a 1-month period.
Damn.
And they're saying it's going to probably go up to 30 million.
Wow.
That's what they're anticipating. It's going to go up even more.
Wow. Wow.
They can't handle that.
It's a lot of shit we see they can't handle.
They have not handled this whole thing at all. But it's funny, though, because remember, they got high IQ. They ran around here for years screaming about some IQ. And now here you are. You should be, if you got a high IQ and so advanced in medicine and science, you should have been leading the world in this thing.
Mm-hmm. No, all you got to do, I'm just telling y'all, anything that go bad, anything that go wrong, just put a little bleach on it and it'll deal with it. I'm telling you.
That's it.
Put a little bleach on it.
That's it.
That's it. Every time.
That's it.
Solution to everything. That bleach.
Notice, y'all, ever since this stuff has happened and the U.S. now got the most cases and most deaths in the world, you notice nobody's screaming about a high IQ anymore? Shit. They ain't even telling us to go back to Africa no more. They were on that. They were on that hard at one time. They ain't even saying that shit no more.
You know what they'll do when shit like this hit them? They stay away from your channels and all of that. We know that. They'll stay away from your channels and everything. They'll do little weak shit like this and put 9 thumbs down.
Right.
That's all you got left.
Yeah.
Thumbs down.
I don't even care about that shit.
Versus 315 thumbs up versus 9 thumbs down.
I don't care about some 5 thumbs down. Nobody even cares about that. You got drowned out by all of the thumbs up, so nobody cares about that.
315 thumbs up versus 9 thumbs down.
Right.
Ooh, I guess you feeling good about yourself.
Mm-hmm. Nobody's and totally unaffected by the whole thing. That's the thing that gets me. But yeah, you notice they don't say none of the usual things to us. We've been told on a regular cycle to go back to Africa. We ain't heard that. And when was the last time we heard that? Like back in January? Back in January?
Show you how they work, how things get thrown up in their face. Okay, they started talking real bad about the governor of Kenya giving out that Hennessy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Trump, he had to upstage him. He had to go there and use that bleach. Mm-hmm. There ain't nothing wrong with getting a couple of little bottles of Hennessy in your packet. Shit. Mm-hmm. Mama and daddy need a drink.
And what are they complaining about? During the shutdown, they wanted the liquor stores in the country to remain open.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You can go past your local liquor store. That bitch is open.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they're trying to make a big deal out of.
They can't stand each other. The divorce rate went up. They don't want to have sex with each other no more.
Violence is
All kind of shit.
Yeah, domestic violence going off the chart. And today, this morning, when I was looking through the articles, this one woman said her husband was already miserable and talked to her like dirt. But since he's been home all the time, she said their marriage is just horrible now.
Oh, my goodness.
I was like, damn.
Well, y'all go over there to Black Twitter or Black Facebook. Black Families is having a lot of fun in the house. They putting up videos, skits, parties. I seen a couple, you could tell they've been together for years. They put on some fancy rags. They was in there singing, Lisa. They was getting that shit in. They had on them they put on some wigs, look like afros from the 70s. This Black couple put on a whole concert.
Because we know how to be creative. Okay, we just do. That's just a natural thing for us.
I've been enjoying it. Our folks is entertaining over there and stuff. You don't hear nobody over. I can't stand being with this bitch no more. I'm in the house. We talking about, baby, cut on that barbecue pit. Cut on them Isley brothers. Yeah, get that shit out. Get them kids. Get them out that bed in them pajamas. Come on, we're going to do the Soul Train. Nah.
You damn right. We in the house doing the Soul Train line.
Oh.
You know? And they're in the house giving each other black eyes.
Killing each other. Some literally have killed each other.
Yeah.
You know, that cop, when I showed my husband that video of that cop, when they was cutting him out of his clothes, you should have seen Omari. He got all propped up in the bed on it when he get on his side and stuff, and he turned his back to me. He was like, "Oh, this is a good video." He said, "Baby, give me a cup of ice water."
And y'all, every now and then, if I come across a good beat down video, I'll send it to True Royal so Omari can see it.
Put it on loop, Lisa. I had to put it on loop if it's one of them real short ones. He said, "Oh, that's what I'm talking about." He liked them good beat down videos.
He sure do. And we'll be shortly after I send it, we'll be talking. He'll come right in the room to let me know he had told that.
He want to know if you got some more beat down videos.
I'll be sending them videos. They be getting their asses beat.
Oh yeah, he liked that kind of stuff. But yeah, he seen dude getting cut up out his clothes and stuff. That dude.
Favorite one was, remember the convenience store? It was a Black woman and a girl. And that Black man, he was up there calling her the N-word. That Black man stepped up, slapped his ass so hard he fell to the ground. He got up, he slapped his ass down to the ground again.
Yeah, I remember that. He beat his ass, Lisa.
He got him 3 times.
I seen one where it was an old Black man, an old white man called him a nigga in the store. He said, "What you say?" Boy, he knocked his ass down.
One I saw, and it was on public transportation. It was an older Black man, and this little young white guy got up in his face. That old Black man wore his ass out. He got his ass beat so bad his friend had to jump up to shield him so he wouldn't knock him out again.
Well, you know how some of them are, that you'll beat their ass and they'll be like, "Okay, whatever." You remember, like, I'll tell you the one that got the hell knocked out of her. That white woman spit on that brother and he knocked the shit out of her.
Knocked the mess out of her butt. I remember that.
Yeah, okay. And then she got hit again. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think, didn't she spit on him? I think she
spit on that brother. She spit on that brother. He knocked on her ass.
That man hit her with the might of his hand. I mean, her ass went backwards and everything. I remember that.
When she got hit, the ancestor showed up. That's what that is.
Yeah.
And then she tried to, try to act like it didn't really bother her. Boy, he knocked the hell out of her.
He sure did. I remember that. I felt that damn slap. He slapped her with that kind of might.
And that shit felt so good, Lisa. You just don't know. I put that shit on loop and just keep playing it over and over and over. You deserve that. You can't call nobody or anything. That man wasn't doing nothing to you, and you spit on people, bodily fluids, you
Yeah.
gonna feel that day.
Mhm.
You gonna taste some blood in your mouth, all of that.
Sure. Oh, that was funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, how you gonna explain yourself out of that? The one that got me, Lisa.
Oh, you know what song I heard today? And I know you remember this one. Do y'all remember Joyce Sims, You Are My All in All? You should have seen how crazy I was in the car today. You should have seen how crazy my ass was.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Lord, yes. I remember that.
Man, when that song came out, it seemed like everybody had that song pumping up. One time I was in the I was getting gas at the service station, and this young guy was in a big truck next to me. He turned that all the way up. You should have seen him bouncing and dancing all in the front seat.
Oh my goodness.
That was the jam back in the day, y'all. That was one of them back in the day jams.
I had a whole concert going on in here. I was playing all the oldies. I started out with the Stylistics.
Uh-huh.
I played some Denise Williams.
I remember her. You know, she was still in high school when she put out her first album.
She did. Wow.
Yeah, she was still in high school.
I went to see her in concert about 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
She got an excellent voice.
Yeah, she was still in high school in Gary, Indiana. She comes from the same town that the Jacksons came from.
Wow.
And when she first came out, she was still in high school. With Free, when she sung Free, she was still in high school.
Oh, she was still in high school when she sung Free.
She sure was.
Yeah, I played them. I played the Stylistics. Then I got on I started playing Royce, Wish Upon a Star. I started playing Wish Upon a Star. I had a whole concert. I said I need to do a 70s show on my channel. Everybody just put on some 70s shit and just start playing all that. I just love that music. I love that. I like all music, but I love that music.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, people talking about, oh, I can't go to the concert no more. I can have a concert right here. I can go to a clean bathroom. Mm-hmm. My concession stand is in my kitchen. I got the best seat in the world and all of that. I done been to so many concerts. If I don't go to a concert
had an awesome voice. She did. But see, now when singers come out, they want you to look like a supermodel. But see, when you look at Joyce Sims, she looked like a woman from around the way in the hood.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember just watching the video, and I'm like, wow, that woman really should have been a lot bigger than what she was.
Yeah.
She's one of those people, she should have been way bigger.
See, I don't care about the look. I care about the quality of the damn music.
That's what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. You know, she should have been way bigger than what she was.
Yeah, they got they'll overdub their music, and you big as a toothpick, and you know they just selling a look and all of that. What about the quality of the damn music? Shit.
Yeah.
Y'all gotta realize some of us grew up in an era where you had to play that damn music. They say play that funky music. White boy, they meant that.
Mm-hmm.
No, that crap that they be playing now is a joke.
Yeah.
A straight joke. You know, you looking at more ass than listening to music.
Yeah, you sure are.
Mm-hmm. You know.
Oh, Minnie Riperton. Now Paris James. Yeah, Minnie Riperton.
Mm-hmm. You know, I love me some Minnie.
Mm-hmm. I mean, even to this day, nobody can even duplicate that woman's voice. You know, some of the artists, some of them will kind of sound similar to each other.
So many people, what it is they trying to hit that 5-octave range. Yeah, you're gonna have a heart attack. Better leave it alone.
Hers was natural.
Yes, leave it alone.
Get her voice up that high. And you know, and some of these artists out today, you can tell they strain to get them high, notes like that. She wasn't even, when you watch Minnie on the old videos, she wasn't even straining to get those high notes.
Yeah, she didn't put no effort into it. It was just, it just came out so naturally. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I can't, I can do a 3 to 5. You got me real messed up.
She was, I mean, I don't even think, because some people had mentioned Mariah Carey. I don't even think Mariah's Carey range was like Minnie.
Mariah got a nice range, but it's just something about in Minnie's rim and Minnie's world. Leave that alone. Some things you can't redo.
Yeah.
Just leave it right there where it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry. Mariah is just no match. I don't even think she can even touch Minnie.
No, she can't. She's tried to sing some of Minnie's songs.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff, and I've heard people do renditions of Minnie, and they'll try to hit that high note, but it just don't sound like Minnie.
No.
Leave it alone.
You know, and I remember the day that she died, and they announced it on the radio. I still remember that.
Lisa, I remember the day. I remember where I was. I remember it was during the summer that she died. I was still in junior high. I'll never forget that day.
Yeah. It's just like Michael Jackson's day. I still remember everything about the day that Michael Jackson died. I remember everything, every detail of what I was doing.
I know exactly where I was when Michael passed. And I was like,
Queen, the days after that, I love listening to all that old Jackson music. Man, I was loving it. I mean, I was missing Mike, but I was loving how they were playing everything from their childhood all the way through his adulthood. Some of that music I haven't heard in years.
It's like he passed, and I think like 2 days after he passed, we was on the road taking my second mom back to Arkansas. We drove her all the way back to Arkansas and stuff, and that kind of helped. And then we stayed in a motel in Mexico, and they had that shit all on the TV.
Yeah, and they played it all day. I mean, it was just
it crashed the internet. Remember?
Mm-hmm. Yep, I sure do. I sure do.
And I remember I was in the car. Me and my husband was.
I remember when they had said, I was watching it and they were on TV and they said the family had just arrived at the hospital, and I was like, oh no, please! And it was just before they announced.
Yeah, because they had.
And I remember I was watching them running in the hospital, and I was like, please don't let him be gone. Please don't let him be gone. And then when they did, it was just. I think it just blew everybody away. You know, you think Colby was a big deal. I actually think Michael's passing was bigger than Colby's.
It was.
I really do when you think back.
I remember Jermaine had to go out there and announce that his brother had died. I felt so bad for that family.
He broke apart several times.
I felt so bad for that family.
It was terrible. But yeah, I actually think Michael's passing, and then Colby's was big. Don't get me wrong. It was huge when Colby died. But when I reminisce and think about Michael, I think Michael's death was even bigger. Yeah, you know, and the reason why I feel that way is because that Jackson 5 music went worldwide. They did concerts all over the world where Colby, he was big in this country. And, you know, when people in other countries knew him, but not like they knew Michael in the Jackson 5.
Yeah, because I was reading an article that people around the world was contacting the Jackson family. I didn't realize they had so many friends around the world.
Yeah.
And stuff. And that look on Miss Jackson's face just broke my heart.
Mm-hmm.
She's such a sweet lady.
Yeah.
And I said, damn.
Yeah, I remember Phyllis Hyman. I remember when Phyllis died, you know, and that was really tragic. She was alone in her apartment when they found her. That was really tragic.
That was the artist that my dad loved.
Phyllis Hyman. She was supposed to do a concert that night that she died with the Whispers.
With the Whispers, yes. I love their music. Boy, the Whispers, they got some good music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she had a lot of issues with depression.
She did.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
she was drug in the industry because she was a businesswoman, and she went toe to toe with those people in the music industry. She negotiated her own contracts and all of that. And they said she was a bitch.
And a lot of people don't know, when they signed Whitney Houston, they dropped Phyllis Hyman at that same time. So she knew that they replaced her with Whitney.
Mm-hmm.
And in the beginning, she resented it. And she was speaking out against Whitney. But after a while, I think when she really thought about it, she realized it really wasn't Whitney's fault. It was the record label's fault.
No,
But, you know, a lot of people, if you think back, as soon as Whitney came on the scene, that was when they gave Phyllis Hyman the axe.
you know, I didn't
It was
realize
at
that.
that same time. Yep, I remember that. In fact, it made the news on Phyllis losing her contract, but that's how she lost it. They replaced her with Whitney.
Yeah, because when you look at it, they had somebody younger,
Mm.
way young. And another thing is, her family was very well connected in the music industry, very well.
Mhm.
People don't know how far back it is. Not just her mother, it's not just her cousin Dionne Warwick. It was her family. She comes from a very musical family.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
sure
They
do. Phyllis was beautiful. I really thought she was a very beautiful woman.
she had her own clothes made. It was just like she was just so out of the box.
You know, do you remember when Spike Lee would have her in his movies?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
I just always thought she was beautiful. I really did.
Yeah. But like I said, she was just that different one because she was like, no, let me read that contract too. And she knew how to read them contracts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, they still to this day, they want somebody in the industry that don't question certain things.
Yeah, Phyllis was 6'2". She was a tall woman.
Yeah, she was a big,
But
yeah.
you know what? She started out modeling. A lot of people don't know that. Phyllis was a model. But you look at her, she was so gorgeous. I'm not surprised that she was modeling.
Yeah, that's what made her album covers too, because she would help put those album covers together, and she knew what clothes to put. She was just involved in everything, every aspect of her music.
And
You know?
the beautiful part is Phyllis was very much covered up when you look at her pictures.
Yeah, you didn't see no
Still
cleavage hanging out.
brought all that glamour out, and she was covered up. Now you see these artists; they're half naked practically.
Yeah, remember
You
like when Little Kim came out, it was like, really, Little Kim, really?
know?
And that child, Little Kim, is not a bad looking sister, and she got all that shit done in her face. She looked
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, and if you look at the pictures of Phyllis, Phyllis would have a hat on, and she would have on a long dress or a long outfit on, and
Mhm.
she looked stunning.
Yeah, she did.
And she was completely covered, and she still looked stunning.
I remember it was one of them shows they came out, one of those award shows.
You know what song I liked about Phyllis Hyman? You Know How to Love Me. Oh, she tore that one up.
Mm-hmm.
I love that song.
Anytime she would come to the Bay Area, my dad was there.
Mm-hmm.
That was his favorite female artist right there. But he was heavily.
I remember Vesta. Vesta, yeah, she died young.
Yeah.
She
I
died.
like Vesta. I like Vesta.
Mm-hmm.
I liked her in that movie.
When her song was "Congratulations," she tore that one up.
Yeah, she sure did. Shirley Murdoch.
And the sad part is she died broke. And that was a damn shame. Somebody with all that damn talent and you die broke.
It's when it comes to Black artists, it's still hard for them. It's like down the street from me, down the hill, down the street, there's a theater. In this theater, believe it or not, have a lot of big name artists, and that theater is part of the Chitlin Circuit.
Mm-hmm.
The Chitlin Circuit is alive and well.
Oh, it always have been. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And they knew where the talent was. That's why they plucked so many people from it.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
When you don't hear from these artists no more, they back on that Chitlin Circuit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they sure are.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all remember Tone Loc?
Yeah.
Wild thing. Do you know he never stopped performing? He is still performing. He ain't making any records, but he still makes appearances and does his rap songs all over the globe. He never stopped working.
Wow.
I was looking at one of his interviews a couple of years ago, and he said, "Oh no, I'm busy. I'm still flying all over the world doing my songs." I was like, well,
I wonder how these artists is gonna do now since this corona.
It's really hard for you to be in that industry. You can't crowd all them people up and do concerts anymore.
Even the movie industry then shut down.
No, you can't do movies. You can't really be on a set doing a show. Yeah, because it requires so many people to be there.
Yeah.
You really can't do that kind of stuff anymore.
I'm telling you, That's why we keep saying I ain't never seen nothing like this before, where like we seen AIDS come out, but it didn't shut down no industries.
Sure
Damn.
didn't.
People wouldn't, I mean, when it came out, nobody wasn't running to the store getting 1,000 packs of toilet paper.
No, no, and we heard about some artists that died from AIDS. Y'all remember Sylvester?
Yeah. You know, I was out the shoe store that I used to. Let me tell you what happened. My grandmother from Arizona, it came up right after I graduated from high school. And I took her to the shoe store called MacBee's in San Francisco. And Sylvester was in there. And it was two other gay white guys in there. And they all was in there separately. And so my grandmother says, "Oh, ain't that sweet?" She said, "These guys are so sweet. They came in here to buy shoes for their wives." I said, "Grandma."
Yeah.
I said, "Grandma," I said, "they gay." And then I said to her, I said, "That's Sylvester over there." And she knew who Sylvester was when I said it. And she looked and she said, "Oh," she got loud. I could have went up under sun. She said, "Sylvester buy shoes in here?" I said, "Yeah, he buys shoes in," because it was a place for women who had really big feet, really nice shoes. And a lot of those gay guys would be in there buying them shoes too, because they got big, big men feet.
Yeah.
And stuff. He was a big dude, Lisa.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
you can look at him and tell, and he was one of them people. I know he was gay and all, but he had a rough life.
Yes, he did.
When I heard his autobiography, man, he went through hell.
Remember the two women? They were singing "It's Raining Men."
Yeah, I remember that.
The weather girl, one of them passed.
Yeah. I did hear about that.
Yeah, and everything. But yeah, I'll never forget that he was in there. My grandmother was just going goshing over them guys. Oh, they buying shoes for their wives. Boy, she went back to Arizona. She said them men was in there, No,
that was for them.
Oh yeah, that was for them. Yeah.
But you know what? I saw cross-dressing as a child. And some of you may remember when Little Richard would make appearances on TV, he would be in full drag.
With makeup on.
I don't think I ever seen him not be in full drag when I was a little girl. Every time I saw him singing on TV, he was in full drag.
People be
the one that I saw in full drag. It was Flip Wilson. Flip Wilson.
Geraldine.
That was the first time in my life I saw that.
Me too.
I saw that long before RuPaul.
Now I seen a video with my own eyes. I had to pull it back up. There's a video of Marvin Gaye and his father. Marvin Gaye's father was a cross-dresser. And when I read his biography, he said his father was always in a dress and his mama would just play like she didn't see it. Pops would just be walking around smoking a cigarette, and he'd be in a dress.
I remember Grace Jones, and when she had "Pull Up to My Bumper," her background singers, they sound like somebody grabbed them off of the street and just made them sing backup. Her backup, I mean, the song was nice, but her backup singers sound horrible. Go back and listen to that song. Her backup singers sound terrible.
People be surprised how religious her family is. And her brother has a big church. Her twin brother has a big church in LA. And stuff. Yeah, her parents is
only one. There were a couple of songs where the song was nice, but the backup singers, it's like, damn, where y'all get them people from?
Grace Jones was just so hardcore. Shit.
Man,
she was a lot to swallow.
Yeah,
woo. Grace, when she come out, she would make a ooh wee. That's all I can say. Ooh wee. Come out. She a grandmother now.
Yeah, Wilson was on when he was in that era where there was not a lot of black folks on TV back then. So, Flip Wilson and Reverend Ike, those were my favorite shows because they kept me laughing.
Yeah, those shows. I tell you,
Reverend Ike was, y'all, he had a whole bunch of shows where he was curing people of cancer. And, people would come in on gurneys and in wheelchairs and giving their testimonial about what's wrong, and then Reverend Ike would hold up a piece of raw chicken saying, "I got the cancer, I got the cancer." I would be screaming.
I seen her wore all that damn gawky jewelry.
And then my cousin used to watch it, and he took them way more seriously than I did.
Mhm.
Well, when he was selling these gold medallions, and he was this is the way Reverend Ike was selling it. You gotta get this gold medallion. Your life, everything gonna be going wrong in your life. Your woman gonna leave you. You ain't gonna have no money. You gotta get this gold medallion. You know, my cousin bought that gold medallion, and that shit turned in about a week. We were screaming that damn thing wasn't no real guy. It was a fake gold. Shit didn't even last a week, and it started turning.
I'll be surprised. Reverend Ike's son got the majority of his audios on YouTube. Got a whole channel.
Reverend Ike was a multi-millionaire. A lot of people didn't know that.
No, they
Reverend
didn't.
Ike was a multi-millionaire. That man had all kinds of Rolls Royces and mansions and stuff even back then.
I
He
remember.
had tons of money.
He would wear the nasty rings. Telling you.
Yep. I mean, he was a very wealthy man.
Yeah.
And despite of, I mean, all that stuff you saw, he was a very loyal man to his wife. I don't know if I've seen his wife.
You know what, Lisa, you're absolutely right. Because I had did some research about 3 years ago on him, and he stayed with that woman. He wasn't the type of guy that ran around and did all that. You'd be surprised by some folks.
But you know what? I mean, let's be real. That's what kept our people entertained. He was just so raw, and he was so off the cuff. You didn't know what to expect. And when he did show something, it was funny as hell.
But you know what? Over time, he took that stuff off. You notice that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Eventually, he just kind of scaled back. Then you didn't see all that stuff on Reverend Ike anymore.
No, but man, during his time, that man was hilarious. It kept me rolling.
Yeah, it sure did. He had a ring on every finger, medallions hanging off of him. Boy, that dude was flamboyant.
He sure was.
He had one child.
Yep, just one son. He sure did.
Yeah, and his son.
And he kept his son out of the limelight. Nobody ever really saw his son a lot.
Well, you know what? You'd be shocked. You listen to some of those audios that his son played of his father. Some of the stuff he's saying make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
You know, because I never really listened to Reverend Ike. I was so young back then.
I didn't listen to him either, but I did laugh because he was definitely entertaining.
I was so captivated by all he had on. He looked like a caricature to me and stuff. And when I was doing the research on him, I didn't know these different things about his life. And I was like, wow, this dude is something I didn't think he was. I just thought he was just all gawky all through his life. No, like that. He was really a low-key man, but boy, when he came out there to make his money, he did what he had to do, I guess.
Yeah. Patti LaBelle went to the same church over in Philly that I went to, Bueller Baptist Church. See, by the time Patti was real big back then in the church, she was still an unknown name, you know, countrywide, but she was big in the church. I was just a little itty bitty little girl. She was already a grown woman.
I can remember as far back as 1974. That's when I remember Patti LaBelle.
She was in LaBelle.
With the Bluebells then.
Yeah, and she was with Sarah Dash.
Yeah.
Nona. Actually, Nona still looks great.
She do, don't she?
Yeah, she looks fantastic.
You know who I watched the other night?
No weight on her, nothing. She still got her little skinny body.
I tell you somebody that pulled me back that I watched, and they look good. You know that group En Vogue from out of Oakland?
Yeah, I remember them.
Well, 2 of the original members are still they out there, and they got another girl with them. Lisa, them women did not gain no weight.
I think one did, but the rest of them, the other 3, they look great.
Yeah, the tall girl, Cindy.
Yeah.
Her husband works out. And you should have seen the definition.
He was an ex-football player. Yeah, I remember.
Well, I was looking at a concert that he did a few months ago. Them women are in excellent shape.
Yeah, I think only one of them had gained weight, but the 3 other ones, they kept themselves in good shape.
Well, there's 3 of them now. One of the girls is somebody extra they add. that other girl that you're talking about that gained weight, she's not with them anymore.
Yeah.
And I was just shocked because I kept looking at them. I said,
in fact, the one that gained the weight, she was the one on the lead singer and Never Gonna Get It. She sung the lead. She ended up gaining a lot of weight. I guess, you know, pregnancy, marriage, you know how some women are.
She had what, 5 kids? She didn't gain no weight.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, it was just really, I mean, all of them sisters look good.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, they faces, you could tell they didn't have too much makeup on or they wasn't trying to camouflage anything. You know how it is.
Nisha, you going way back. Isaac Hayes. Didn't him and Bernie Mac die like around the same time?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, I remember that.
I went and seen Isaac Hayes in a concert in LA because my mother moved. I remember
my mom had his one album where he sung, what was that song? I Stand Accused of Loving You, something like that. You know, he married a prostitute.
What?
Isaac Hayes married a prostitute.
Lord.
Yes, he did. And I remember when he put that song out, because my mom would play Isaac Hayes' album back in the day. And the one notable thing I always noticed about him was that deep voice he had. I was like, damn, that man got a deep ass voice.
Remember, he was on his treadmill working out.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he died. But
yeah, Bernie Mac and Isaac Hayes died damn near on. Yeah, I think it was the same week. Najat, you're right.
Yeah, it was. And I had went to a concert in LA when I was real little. My mother, somebody gave her the tickets, and when they lowered Isaac Hayes onto the stage in a cage.
Uh-huh.
And he had chains on. He had chains across his chest and stuff. That's all I can remember because I was so young. But you know, you will remember cages and chains.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll never forget that concert. Because I was
no, Barry White had a deep voice. I remember that. And you know, his wife was Glodine. She sung with, I think, the 3 Degrees.
Yeah, she did.
She was a singer back then.
Yeah, I seen they had interviewed her recently.
Glodine? Oh, really?
Yeah, Glodine. Yeah, she's still around.
Mm-hmm.
Some long ass nails.
Yeah, I remember that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because I when I was watching a little video about a documentary about them, and he liked her, and she wasn't giving him no energy. And
he ended up having a lot of kids, though.
Yeah.
Didn't they have like 12 children or something like that? They had a lot of children, her and Barry White.
No, what it was Barry White had already had children. And when he met her, they were still married. And she already had children. Then when they got together, they had more children. So she brought her children together. He brought his children. And I think together, they had like 4 more children.
Mm-hmm. Now, no, the deepest voice. Now, Isaac Hayes had a deep voice, but the absolute deepest voice I remember in music was the Temptations, Melvin Franklin. Y'all remember him? Yeah, he was the one that was the bass in the Temptations. Now, he had the deepest voice I've ever heard.
Yeah. Yeah, his voice made the room rumble.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Some of y'all might remember him. Old Melvin Franklin, I believe his name was.
I remember all them dudes because I study music faithfully. And that's all I played in my house when we were kids. They played all that Motown stuff. That's all they played.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing distinctive about his low voice, when he sung, you could understand what he was saying. Mm-hmm. You know, it wasn't so deep that you couldn't hear the words or know what he was singing.
What made Barry White special is he started putting strings and having whole orchestras in his music.
Right. And he was very talented. He could play multiple instruments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Barry White was a very talented man. He wrote music and he played multiple instruments.
Yeah. So he had, that was the little extra that he added to it. He had all, he busted out with that one song and you started hearing all these violins and stuff in the back. People was like, damn, this is some good music.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
We used to call him Begging Barry. He would be begging women in every song, but his songs were off the charts though.
One thing that he said in when I was watching the documentary about him, He said he never set out to be a sex symbol. He said, "Look at my fat ass." That's what he said.
Mhm.
Like that. He said, he said, I just out here trying to sing and make it. And
Yeah.
stuff. And he said, I'm a big dude. He said, ain't too many women gonna be attracted to me, but they was attracted to that voice.
Mm-hmm.
And his son, he got a son that sings just like that.
Mm-hmm.
I heard it. His son put a video out. I said, damn, their voice sounded like.
A lot of times those sons will pick up voices that sound just like their parent. Look at Michael Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, he got that child with Mickey Howard, sound just like him.
You know what? I don't care what anybody say. That is Michael's son.
Yeah, I think so too.
I don't care what he got his gestures. And it just it's uncanny because I happened to run up on a video a couple of years ago and they were interviewing. And I said, "Is that dude trying to act like Michael?" I said, "Who is this dude?" So I was watching it and I was like, "Oh my Lord, that's Michael's son."
Yeah,
yeah, that's him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I think to throw people off is because I follow him on Instagram. He sound and he move like Michael, but he don't act like him.
Yeah.
But that's his son.
Oh yeah, Eddie and Gerald and Levert. But I tell you what, Eddie Levert could sing. Mm-hmm. Okay, when back in the day when he was in the OJs, that man could sing his ass off.
It sure seemed, Lord, that man could sing.
And even when he got up in age, he still had his voice. He never lost his voice.
Yeah, you know what?
That's why when you saw the movie Fighting Temptations, remember they sung Love Me Like a Rock a cappella? Those men could sing.
You know,
the OJs, they could sing. That was some real singing right there.
A lot of times when you catch artists that sing like that years later, they haven't oh, okay. They haven't used drugs and stuff.
That's and to be honest with you, I think Eddie Levert, the father, sound better than Gerald. I know a lot of people like Gerald Levert.
Oh, I like the father.
If I had to match up the two, the father absolutely sung better.
Mm-hmm.
He sung better than Gerald. Now, Gerald was a good singer, but he ain't no match for his dad. His dad definitely had the better voice.
Mm-hmm. Sure did. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Boy, y'all, we gonna go because it's going on 10 o'clock. It was fun coming together, talking about Diamond and Silk. You know I had to drag this one.
The sun is out strong, Lisa. I forgot it's later in your
Yeah, it's going on 10 o'clock here. We didn't have no sun today. It's been cloudy all day. In fact, it was like that yesterday too. We had very little sun over these last few days. A lot of clouds, a lot of overcasts. You know, but yeah, y'all, we'll definitely do this again. We got to come together and do current events. I haven't done that in a while, so maybe got to put a bunch of articles together and do current events real soon.
Maybe Friday.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan right there. All right, everybody, please enjoy the rest of your night. Like I tell you every single time, I pray for my brothers and sisters in the four corners of the earth, and that our Heavenly Father keeps his hedge of protection around each and every one of you. I pray that he fulfills your needs during this rough time in this country and keeps you free and safe from all the disease and pestilence and judgment. And on that note, everybody, shalom.
Shalom.